What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Shut up.
You got an extra hour of sleep.
You know what? I didn't.
You should have.
I should have.
That was on you.
But no, it was on the fact that, I don't know, yesterday was just completely off, dude. The entire day was so off.
You ain't wrong. I felt off. Just the internal clock was slightly off all day yesterday. And I kind of tried to do Saturday night the hour ahead in my mind already and set the clock. So you know, like 9 o'clock watching TV, it's like, oh, it's only 8 o'clock, you know, whatever, and all of that. And but yeah, Sunday, I just kept looking around. It's like, I'm hungry. Oh, it's not breakfast time yet, or not. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like everything was like, oh, I'm tired, but I got another hour before I go to bed.
My entire household was up at 6:30 yesterday. So yeah, it was a long day. That coupled with the fact that nothing was like open. That was usually open. For example, the aquatic center was doing an in-service day. They were training yesterday. So the whole week, her week of school, Rhiannon's week of school was, hey, if you do good, we're going to go to the aquatic center on Dad's day off. Well, crap.
Well, maybe after Suela today you can go.
No, close day. Next weekend. But anyways, so that was part of it. It was just, but everything was just, and I know it was a day off, but it just seemed like everything took so long. I kept looking at the clock. It's only 5 o'clock.
I saw it, but then I would look. Well, it could be worse. It could be a long day when I'm at work.
True.
It's a day off.
You're absolutely right.
I call this a win. If there's going to be days that feel longer than normal, I'd rather it be a day off.
Spend it with my 2 kids, then we'll talk. They complicate things.
I made decisions in my life.
Fair enough. Yeah, I deserve better.
I mean, I love everybody and I love all their things, but when people come in like, you chose that path, not I. I chose a different path. This is what I'm
allowed to be sad sometimes, doggone it.
Sure. Knock yourself out.
I'm not asking for your sympathy.
I just play little fiddles.
I'm just filling time. Just a little fiddle.
Just the tiniest of fiddle. Of course, great weekend for our community. Had a lot of stuff going on. The Juana's doing their stuff. Of course, the Veterans Day celebration happening on Saturday. Had a good turnout for that. Yeah. Thank you to everyone that came out. My apologies to those that didn't get the word that the newspaper had the time off by an hour. We had several people, including the mayor, show up at quarter after the ceremony.
Ooh.
Because word that some people didn't get the word that the time was off by an hour.
This is why you don't get your information from the newspaper, folks.
Although, that being said, they did a very nice article about the event afterwards. So go read that. It was a very nice article.
Get your stories from the newspaper. Don't get your news from it.
But but unfortunately, we had a couple people afterwards come up like, it's over already. I'm like, yeah, it started at 9. I heard it was at 10. I was like, sorry. It wasn't. But I had a great ceremony. We had the scouts out there helping out with the wreaths, with the auxiliary. They did great. We had Jack Swickard as our guest speaker, Vietnam veteran, and he did a great job. Both American Legion Post 28 and Post 61 did a great job of just making that event happen. So big thank you to both of those organizations and the city and the county and the sheriff and everybody, all the organizations that got involved with the Veterans Assembly and came out, the car clubs, and motorcycle groups. They had a little show afterwards out and had people hang out for about an hour or so after the event, just kind of meandering, hanging out. There's food trucks out there and just kind of, hanging back and doing human stuff, talking and eating food and chit-chatting and stuff. So it was a good time.
Yeah.
So big thank you to everyone that came out for that. And if you missed it, well, we'll do it again next year.
Yes, sir.
I promise.
There's always time to celebrate the veterans in your life.
This is true. And actual Veterans Day is this Thursday.
Yes.
And, of course, for you vets out there, be on the lookout. It's Free Food City. Free Food City, Free Food City. But, yeah, that's... I saw a joke on TV where there's a couple of veterans, and they're literally, the whole thing was like free food crawl. They're just going from place to place,
That's not a bad idea.
And literally we're like just overstuffed with, because to be honest, like Golden Corral is one that does it every year. And if you walk out of Golden Corral hungry, that's kind of on you.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Because that's if there's any place on the planet you can just be gluttony times 10, it's Golden Corral.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can just stick your head under that soft serve ice cream thing and let her rip.
I know their bread is phenomenal. Don't fill up on the bread.
That's my wife's fault every time. She loves that bread and gets that bread. And then eats that bread, and then you're like, you want a sandwich? Or you want a piece of meat or corn or something? She's like,
I'm
I
Logie.
already ate all the bread. Yeah, it's good.
I'm a bread fan too, but
I do too. But you be honest, my favorite piece of equipment in that whole building is the soft serve ice cream thing.
The chocolate fountain's a pretty strong contender.
It's not there no more.
Oh, was it not?
It wasn't there because I went Saturday. Saturday
I guess that makes
afternoon, my wife
sense
and I said, "Hey, let's go grab something to eat over there. Why not?" We went over there, and because it's like literally I could throw a rock and hit it from my house. But anyway, so we went over there, and I don't recall seeing the Fountain Day chocolate. I think somebody said, during COVID,
should probably bring that back.
Kids just stick their entire bodies in that thing. Maybe we shouldn't leave it out
Well, that's
there.
what I was going to say is they don't limit you to the stuff that you can coat in chocolate. I mean, you can coat that Bourbon Street steak in the chocolate. It's just fine. I wouldn't fully recommend it, but
you never know though.
Yeah, they're not going to tell you no.
You might create a masterpiece.
That's right. Somebody had to be thinking when they created peanut butter and chocolate put together.
Exactly. I saw the commercials. Some guy wasn't walking around with an open thing of peanut butter, and then some other guy walking around with his open, unwrapped chocolate bar and tripped over that stick, and his chocolate fell in that guy's peanut butter. We wouldn't have Reese's.
For the record, though, when I trip over something and fall, I don't usually do this. Props to the guy for his forward thinking.
Well, he did do a whoa, 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 and then it went right into the peanut butter.
And that's how you were born, Junior.
But
this is why we named you Reese's.
But yes, Thursday is with Veterans Day, the actual Veterans Day. There's lots of great stuff, and I'll try to dig up some and shoot them out between now and then. I know nationally, like Denny's is one that's offering like a free build your own Grand Slam.
I don't have it officially yet, but I think that Cattleman's might be doing like a steak thing. I think I'm not totally sure.
The New Mexico Military Institute is doing their annual Veterans Day breakfast. You got to RSVP for that Thursday morning as well. I know some of our Legionnaires are participating in Veterans in the Classroom on Thursday.
Right.
And I actually would love to do that, but unfortunately I'm kind of busy Thursday morning.
Yeah, you do this whole morning radio thing.
I'll be here. But so we got a lot of great stuff happening.
Well, you have a unique opportunity in that you could do both. Like if you were to get a hold of Kim's class and do like a video chat while you're on the morning show, put them on the radio, you could do kind of a combination thing.
Could be, but I feel like having a morning show in a classroom is a bad idea.
Oh, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I'm not saying for the listener's sake.
What we do here might interfere with what they do in the classroom.
Maybe slightly. They're probably not going to be super tuned in for the commercial breaks.
Like I tried to do a radio show in a movie theater set one time. That didn't do too well. And I'm thinking in a classroom setting might not be any better.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. When you try to do a radio show during a movie production, that's not good either. I learned that one real quick. They do not jive together.
That's right, because you were doing in the Artesia studio when they were filming. Was it Roswell FM?
Roswell FM, the masterpiece that is Roswell FM. Yes, was filmed there when we did that, and I would be doing the morning show, and there was they were there about maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half. I don't know.
Right.
But there was a couple days where they had to film some scenes in the studio I do the show in.
Right.
I did the show in the morning. And so I'd get off the air at 10. And that studio, the way it's set up, there's a lot of glass around the so basically you're kind of in a fishbowl when you're sitting there doing the show. And so at like 9:55, the crew would just stand around the glass, almost like just a bunch of kids waiting to beat you up after school, like waiting for 3 o'clock, and they're all like, 3 o'clock's coming. You know, it was one of those moves.
Right.
And they're all just staring at me with their tools and their equipment.
Bags of cameras and stuff.
And like 10 o'clock is like, all right, thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. And as soon as I hit the button off, man, this flurry of people just come bum rushing in, hanging lights from the ceiling. I'm just like, I got to hit stop. Hold on. You're like, let me get out of your way. I mean, I literally couldn't get my butt off that chair before they were just taking over the place.
Yeah, the mic being off does not mean we're done for the day.
Yeah. It was literally like, all right, get out. But anyway, I don't know where I went with that. But that was a bad idea. So I'm guessing being in the classroom is probably
probably not the best, not conducive for good radio.
Exactly. Let me give you the rundown for our... I say good radio, but I'll let you decide. If you say it's not, I understand.
Hey, lead with confidence, doggone it. It's an affirmation. Today, we're going to be good.
You're somebody, and we're proud of you.
That's right.
All right. Matt Bristol from Bristol Office is going to join us here in just a few minutes and talk some sage legal advice with us here, and probably continue more talking about future planning, things like that. So financial, not like planning what you're going to do for lunch today. Although I mean,
bet the man's got some tips.
That's sound legal advice too. If you don't plan that, you could end up at some wee willy-nilly lunch place and end up going to jail.
This escalated quickly. I just wanted a Reuben.
Well, it's because you got mad because someone sneaked a ketchup pack under your chair as a prank, and you didn't appreciate it because you have your new pants on there, and you got a meeting today, and now you got ketchup all over it. So you had to pummel a guy at the store.
Better call Matt.
He won't help you, by the way, but that's all right. He done criminal law.
Yeah, but he might know a guy.
He might know a guy. That's true. You know, you work in a building with lots of lawyers, you tend to bump in and know a few of them. So, but anyway, Matt's going to join us. We'll chit chat about that. In the 8 o'clock hour, Donald Weld's going to be joining us from. He's part of the Friends of Bitter Lake, Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. Good news! They're getting ready to open back up and do things again. I know Dragonfly Festival and all that kind of took a back burner, but the store is going to be opening back up. They've got some events planning, so you can get out there and do some nature stuff out at Bitter Lake here again pretty soon. So they're going to join us and give us an update on what's happening out there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Nook from Asian Market will join us.
Oh, yeah?
She always comes by and sometimes she brings food. I haven't heard one way or another if food is coming with Nook today, but it's always fun to get an update on what's happening over at Asian Market and try see if she's got new fall fairs.
Pumpkin spice pho. I don't think she does pho. That's Vietnamese more than be like, let's see.
Do you think they're all into all that stuff in like Asia and the Asian
I can't imagine
countries and things, or do you think they're into pumpkin spice stuff? And I don't think so either.
No, I can't imagine. It's one of those uniquely American things.
Well, they can have it, or we can get rid of ours. Because if I never see a pumpkin spice anything again, I'm good to go.
I saw a meme the other day. It was like these two warring factions like standing like holding their arms back, and basically it was the pumpkin spice people versus the peppermint mocha people.
Yeah, Big Pumpkin's been on us for a long time. Because if you think about it, they have a fruit that its whole purpose is to cut into it and put on your porch for a couple of days. I mean, think about it. Other than that, we don't do the pumpkin spice. I mean, come on.
It's basically
no one ain't grabbing pumpkins out in the field and making pumpkin spice lattes with them.
No,
right?
I'll tell you what it was. It was somewhere out there was like a Don Draper level like marketing executive. Because fun story, bacon used to be garbage. People hated bacon back in the day, but there was one executive who's like, you know what, we're gonna make bacon something, and they made it like the breakfast staple. And now, just look around, it's everywhere. So somewhere there was like a guy who was like, I'm gonna do that to pumpkins. I'm gonna make it happen.
It's because they don't taste good either.
Well,
like watermelons are delicious. We don't see them sitting on people's
pumpkins
porches.
taste fantastic as soon as you add a bunch of ginger, a bunch of cinnamon, a ton of sugar. They taste great.
I don't see honeydew hanging out on my front porch either. Just saying.
I'm gonna display a cantaloupe next year just to be a contrarian.
Hey, citrus people, offer us up grapefruit for Halloween. Because no one likes that either.
Yeah,
let's throw some of them on our windowsill.
Where's the push for grapefruit?
While you're at it, I think the plum people ought to get in the game too.
They don't got the plums. Let's be honest.
Because to be honest, plums make prunes. Mm-hmm. And how many people eat prunes that aren't 80?
I enjoy a prune every now and again.
You enjoy the weirdest food on the planet.
Yes, I do.
You're an enigma of you're not normal.
Yeah, I don't recommend going by the Sean Small standard, but I do enjoy a good.
If it comes in a can or is meant for someone 80, you're down.
When I found out that prune juice was a main ingredient in Dr. Pepper, I'm like, well, there's got to be something to it. And so I went on a prune juice kick for a minute. I was regular.
I bet. All right, 7:21. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm today. We'll be in the low to mid 80s, and with high pressure over New Mexico, it looks like things will stay fair. Should be mostly sunny, maybe a few clouds around the Carlsbad area. Turning cloudy overnight with mid to upper 40s, and then we get a sunny day tomorrow. Slightly cooler with highs staying around 80. Cooler again on Wednesday. Plenty of sun and mid 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 48% with winds out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. Increasing clouds today, but warm. We're going to keep in the warm for today. 84, our official high. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy during the early evening, but gradually clearing later in the evening. Expect an overnight low of 45 with southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly sunny, sticking around in the 80s tomorrow, 81 for a high with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 45. Winds out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. And then Wednesday, it's going to get windy, bring it a little bit cooler. 70s, though, upper 70s. Sunny, 78. Northwest winds 10 to 15, picking up 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night, clear skies with an overnight low of 43. For you, Veterans Day on Thursday, sunny skies with highs right around 70. Then we're back down into the low 60s on Friday. Sunny skies, a high of 61. And then looking at your weekend, sunny and 71 on Saturday, sunny and 73 on Sunday. I imagine, well, I haven't heard officially yet. I have to look. But, of course, Goddard got the big win in football Friday. That means Roswell and Goddard will square off at the Wool Bowl this weekend. I'm guessing that game's on Friday, but I got to confirm that. By the way, volleyball, of course, Goddard got in as a second seed. They will not play till the 12th. They get to win they got to wait a little bit to see who their opponent's going to be. Tomorrow, Artesia and St. Pius. Artesia, I believe, is the 7th seed. St. Pius, the 10th seed. They're in the play-in. Winner of that gets to play into the playoffs, and we'll take on Goddard in that first round on the 12th. So that game will take place tomorrow night. We will have it for you on the radio on our sister station, 990 AM KSVP, and also online video at ksvptv.com. Winner of that game will take on Goddard and the Lady Rockets on the 12th in the playoffs there. All right, it is 23 minutes after 7. We're going to take a quick break. Roswell Livestock Report, a quick break, and then on the other side, Matt Bristol with Bristol Law Office will join us. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good November run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality Navy calves, light yearlings, several weaned with shots. We expect to sell 2,500 head, breaking down like this: 375 400 weighing cows and bulls, 125 150 pairs of bred cows, 1,900 2,000 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 20 cow-calf pairs, Animas Foundation, Animas New Mexico, X-quality black-white face Angus cross cows with Angus calves at side. These pairs 5 to 7 years old. 160 open cows off the Animas Foundation to include 60 young 5 and 6 year old open cows. 75 calves Animas Excellent quality black, white face Angus crosses, shots at Brandon, thin to medium condition, 375, 500 pounds. 80 calves, Mr. David Gable, Roe Mesa, New Mexico. Excellent quality black, white face Charolais cross calves, Cattle Master 5 7-way, medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. 104 calves, Paul and Stacy Turney, Capitan, New Mexico. X-quality 90% black, white face Angus and Brangus cross calves, Bow Shield Gold 7-way, 450, 650 pounds. 35 calves, Hendricks Ranch, Flying H, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus and Brangus crosses, thin to medium condition, cattle weaned 60 days, 400, 500 pounds. 71 calves, Eva Arona, Catron County, over at Red Hill. Excellent quality black, white face Angus crosses, Bow Shield Gold 7-way, medium condition, 400, 550 pounds. 63 yearlings, Heritage Ranch, Fort Stockton, Texas. Good quality English crossbred yearlings, cattle wean 120 plus days, 2 rounds of shots, thin condition, 450, 700 pounds. 35 calves, Mr. Gene Cassidy, Las Cruces. Ex-quality black Angus cross calves, weaned 120 days, 2 rounds of shots, 400, 550 pounds. 115 calves, Triple R Cattle Company, Jowl, New Mexico. Ex-quality 90% black, white face Angus and Brangus crosses, Cattle Master 5 7-way, 400, 650 pounds. 93 calves, Miss Carol Coker, Daddle, New Mexico. Ex-quality black, white face Angus cross calves, Bow Shield Gold 7-way, 500, 650 pounds. 82 calves, Crockett Ranch, Hope, New Mexico. Ex-quality red Angus crossbred calves, weaned, 2 rounds of shots, medium condition, 350, 550 pounds. 42 calves, Ogden Ranch, Loving, New Mexico. Excellent quality black, white face Angus and Hereford cross calves, cattle weaned 45 days, Bow Shield Gold 7-way, 450, 600 pounds. 59 calves, Erskine Cattle Company, Wink, Texas. Excellent quality Charolais crossbred calves, medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sale pairs, bred cows, 11. Be selling calves and yearlings about 12:30. We expect to sell 2,500 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Movie trailers were originally shown after the movie, which is why they're called trailers. Mike thought they named them after the mobile home. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 28 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Bristol Law Office, Matt Bristol back with us. We got talking about food and things you want to. So we got a little sidetrack there. Morning, Matt.
Morning, Mike. How you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself? How's your weekend?
It's good. Good. I got a golf lesson on Saturday.
All right.
And then yesterday, a friend of mine has a young teenage boy who's interested in firearms.
Okay.
So I'm taking the boy out with his dad. And
all right. Teaching him some gun safety and how to do it properly.
Gun safety first.
Absolutely.
And different firearms and how to treat each one, safely. And you think if Alec Baldwin had one NRA safety course,
amen,
he wouldn't have screwed up.
Well, that's just it. These folks that were involved, and I don't want to get in a diatribe, but people that have been around firearms and guns their whole lives, no, it's a tool like anything else. You treat it just like you would a knife. You know, you have knives, and you carry a knife a certain way. You hand it to a certain person a certain way. You operate it a certain way. And when you do that, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have a problem with it.
There you go.
Same thing with a gun, you know.
So the firearm, first thing you should have done was look and see if it was loaded or not.
In true proper protocol, every single person that gun was handed to should have verified that it was unloaded before it was handed or loaded or whatever. Because if one person did that and the 4 or 5 that sound like handled it between the time it was at wherever it was to where it went off, that would have been caught.
Absolutely. And the other rule is you never point a gun at anybody.
Yeah.
So,
and I understand in movie world that one they got to work with a little bit, but even still, they can find ways around putting a camera in front of it without a person in front of it. And, and all that. And it sounds to me, I don't want to get speculating on that story or anything, but to me, what it sounds like, it was a movie that was hot with budget and probably over budget and didn't have a big budget to begin with, and so they used people that were cheaper to use compared to some of the standard fare, unionized or non-union. I don't want to get into all that because I can't explain with any kind of education on how that works in the movie world. But I do know this: most of your prop companies and things that do big time movies, all of them pretty much picked apart the wrong things they did on the movie set there. So I got a feeling this is what you hear the term, you get what you pay for. Unfortunately, I think the situation in that movie set is you got what you paid for there, and you got people that were less than qualified to do what they were doing.
Including Mr. Baldwin himself.
Exactly.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
So with this young man, we did shotgun yesterday, 20 gauge pump, and 45 long Colt.
Oh, cool.
And so the first time we'd done rifles, and so I introduced him to different aspects, and because each one operates differently, and you want to be able to handle everything safely. So
absolutely.
Had a good time.
Good deal. Well, for folks that are not familiar, Matt joins us every month, and we talk sound legal advice. Of course, Matt's practice, he does family law, but a lot of that involves financial planning and estate planning, things like that. So Matt helps a lot of folks around town with that kind of stuff. And so he comes in each month and just says, hey, these are some of the ducks you should put in your row here and get lined up and working on.
There you go. Yeah, we do a little bit of everything. And so it helps us learn about other stuff at the same time.
Absolutely.
And a lot of stuff just ties together so often.
Well, that's just it. It's all related. If one kind of begats this, or one's either related or similar to when we talk about it. And we're talking, like a will. Okay, yeah, you decide, I need a will. Yeah, you do. All right, well, what do you put in the will? What's worthy of putting in the will? What isn't? Who gets what and where? How do we determine that? We all watch TV and see the old movies where, like, I leave my ancient cigar case to Uncle Theo, and you're like, most of us aren't doing that but as far as your big assets, who gets my house? Who gets who gets the whatever monies I have saved? Who gets this?
Well, we help people think about what ifs.
Yeah.
So they say, well, I want my kids to have my stuff. Say, okay, well, what happens if one child passes before you do? And they get this blank look on their face like, ooh, never thought about
And then
that.
you're like, well, that's not going to happen. It's like, well, in theory, no, it won't, but there's always a possibility.
Got to have plan B. Never know.
I mean, in theory, you can play the what-if game all day. It's like, what if all of you are in the car at the same time when it goes off the cliff? Who gets the money then, Well, and that's the stuff you got to talk about.
Well, and that's true. Most people, they travel together. The couples vacation together. They're in the house that has the gas leak together. And so, you got to think about stuff like that. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I imagine you don't have to try to think of every scenario on the planet, but, I mean, you got to at least have a plan is like, okay, what happens if this person's not available? What goes next? Or what if this person, and that's, so you got to think of a few workarounds or ideas just in case it goes down that road.
Or a couple has just one child, has an only child. Well, what happens if that only child's not around when you pass? Where does your stuff go then?
Sure.
And people go, ooh, I hadn't thought about that either.
Yeah.
Had a lady come in the other day and with some stuff. And we've seen a lot of estate planning, a lot of estate documents these days. And so she had printed out this form will to fill in the blanks. And I said, well, you probably don't want to use that. And she says, well, why? I said, well, New Mexico does not recognize handwritten wills.
So that's all for naught right there.
So anytime you fill in the blank, that's handwriting. I said, now you can type it in, but you can't handwrite it in.
I think the only handwritten part's signatures, right?
Yep.
And it's probably got to be in blue ink or what. There's some usually rules on ink sometimes too, depending on
not so much for
documents and things.
This stuff, yeah, very, very, very rarely.
That may have changed some with the technology world too. Now because we can e-sign some things and all that, maybe that's changed some rules.
For example, the bankruptcy stuff has to cannot be e-signed.
Okay.
Bankruptcy paperwork cannot be e-signed.
I don't think wills can either. Now that I think about it, right? Don't they have
Not
to be
yet.
Okay.
New Mexico does not have remote notary acts.
Gotcha.
They're thinking about the possibility of, but they haven't done the regulations yet.
Well, that's going to happen because technology is changing how we do things, and that's and the law has to understand that. And I imagine they will come with a workaround once they determine the security and all that. It's not that they don't want to make it convenient, but they don't want to make it convenient for people to do nefarious stuff. So they got to make sure that it's not as
right. There's a whole potential for fraud there that they got to be really, really careful.
Sure, that would be really bad if someone got fraud. Somebody did some kind of scam on them through online stuff and end up losing their will and things because someone was pretty crafty with an e-signature.
Yeah, or house. I hear those ads on the radio. I'm not sure how that really works, but that's a ground for potential fraud of somebody somewhere e-signing something with a fake notary and doing something to your house. We get calls sometimes for particular people that actually know me. They say, "Hey, Matt, you call me back," and so I'll call them back, and they go, "Well, my dad just died last week or this week. What's the first thing I need to do?" And I tell them, well, the first thing you need to do is just grieve. Because until you get a death certificate, you can't do anything.
Yeah, you're dead in the water. Pardon the pun there, but you're stuck so you can't do anything.
Yeah, so I just take your time, grieve your loss. Don't worry about anything. There's nothing immediate you have to do. And they say, well, what about, do I have to close the bank accounts? I go, no.
Not yet.
You keep the bank account open at least for 12 months. Because if some kind of check comes in with a deceased person's name on it,
that's about the only way you're going to be able to access that money.
It can only be deposited in an account with their name on it. So you don't close the account for a year.
Yeah.
Because things like safe deposit boxes, they only come once a year.
Well, and that's just it, too. I imagine it gets a little tricky as a power of attorney for setting up new accounts and things. Whereas it's probably just a more smoother thing if you just keep the accounts already established open and allow it to naturally flow that way, as opposed to now that they're past, close an account and open a new account specifically for this kind of stuff. Because in essence, you're making it harder for people to get stuff to you.
Well, so sometimes a bank account has to be opened in the name of the estate. It does. But you don't do it just because. You wait till somebody tells you to.
Gotcha. Very good.
So the life insurance.
And then even at that point, I would imagine still closing that other account's a bad idea. It's maybe you can set it up where you can look at each other and transfer from each other or something. Because assuming you use the same bank and everything for that. But yeah.
Well, you got to have some kind of account with the deceased person's name on it. Could be a tax refund. It could be, okay, well, let's sell the car and so you get a little car insurance refund. There's no telling what might come in, but it can only go into an account with the deceased person's name on it.
Gotcha.
So you keep that account open. You have the mail forwarded for a year, for full 12 months, because safe deposit box bill only comes once a year.
And just a pro tip, you're going to be getting stuff every once in a while, even years past that. Like my brother was the executor of my mother's will because he was right there. I was farther out. But to this day, he still gets like Fingerhut catalogs and stuff with my mom's name on it. She passed away in 2003, by the way. That was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So just to let you know.
Yeah, weird stuff like that happens. It sure does. Yeah.
But it's important to do that. And that's just it, because like you said earlier, most people don't know what that process is. And then, as we get older, and you start looking after your parents and things, that's, in many cases, you turn to that person that really is that executor of all things for your parents. It's just by default, you kind of turn that way if you have siblings that help out with that. But for the most part, there's going to probably come a time in your life that you're going to have to be the one that worries about this kind of stuff with your parents, either as a collective with your siblings or maybe you yourself, depending on how that works. But
hopefully your parents have come and talked to me and we got things settled and straightened out.
And we've had that conversation before. If you haven't, talk with your parents about that stuff and say, hey, I'm not, what's going on? What's there? If you guys die tomorrow, who do I need to talk to? Is there a cabinet or is there something here that's got all the information that I need to move forward here? And where is that? And
Right.
it's a weird conversation sometimes. I get it, but you're going to do so much beneficial good to your parents, to yourself, and to all of your family by putting everybody on the same page there.
And explain, you're not asking them how much they have in the bank, just what bank do they use.
Sure.
Things like, well, gee, if there's a fire and the car burns up, who has the car insurance?
How many insurance policies are in place? Who are they with? What are they for?
Right.
That's all information you need to know. And
It is.
yeah.
So I tell my clients, I suggest to my clients to get a safe deposit box because banks don't burn down, houses do.
Yeah.
And they say, well, I've got a safe. I said, well, it's heat resistant only for so much temperature for so long.
Sure.
And after that, everything inside is going to bake like a cookie, little brown pieces of paper. So you get a safe deposit box with the kid's name on it. So if you pass, the kids can get in, and you just throw in a bank statement, or you throw in a retirement statement,
Okay.
401k statement.
Just a place secure that's got that information when you need it.
Right. So if you pay your bills online or by check, if you get the little letterhead says Geico, you write car, put it in the safe deposit box. The kids will figure the rest of that out.
Good. Okay.
That's a crumb. Or if it says, farmer's insurance, and you write house or life, okay, the kids can figure the rest of that out.
Sure.
So
if not, people they know can. They can say, here's these envelopes. I don't know what to do with them, and they'll do it.
just give the kids a crumb,
sure,
some kind of clue. But a lot of people are going to try to be too organized. They have I'll get a theory notebook, I have a binder and tabs and index, and don't do that because nobody ever gets around to it.
And it gets more intimidating, to be honest. You sometimes
It's too complicated.
Yeah.
Just throw stuff in.
And, you're talking about the banks and burning down. I can attest, just to give you an example of that. My La Plata, Maryland, which was about 10 miles south of the town I grew up in Maryland. Shortly after I moved to New Mexico, I think I was in the Air Force at the time, they had a Category 5 tornado go through that town.
Ooh.
And it took out a couple buildings. One of them was the bank. There was a bank there, and it was the Bank of Southern Maryland, a local branch bank there. And it leveled the bank, except for the vault. There was a vault sitting there where your money and your safety deposit boxes sit that was sitting there looking just like the day it was stuck in that thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so that's exactly what he's talking about. They had a Category 5 tornado go through, and that vault just laughed at it while the rest of the building went and crumbled.
That's awesome. Wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty secure.
Very secure. Watertight.
Yeah. But, and really, that's, and to be honest, everybody's got their systems and things. I get it, but have one. That's the thing we're trying to tell you, whether this is kind of just smart thinking over practice time. The safety deposit boxes are good, universal, because it's secure and it's safe, and it's in a it's located in a neutral territory, so to speak. A place that anybody in theory can go in with the right credentials and get.
But be sure and put the kid's name on the box with you, otherwise they can't get in without
make
probate.
it so they can get in after without your
without
approval.
a probate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the bank will require probate papers to let anybody in that box.
Gotcha.
And we spent a lot of time talking to folks about avoiding probate. So nobody wants to probate. Okay. So people call me up and Dad passed, do I have to probate? Well, not necessarily. It all depends. So let's have a conversation.
Gotcha.
So real estate typically triggers probate even when you have a will. So other people actually make you probate. So the bank, for example, hey, I need to get in Dad's safe deposit box. Sorry, you're not on it. Go to probate court, be appointed as executor of the estate, and then come back.
Gotcha. I just had and this is not, it's related but not related, and it might require us to do a whole nother thing another time, but how does that work with homes and reverse mortgages and all that? If your family had to put a reverse mortgage on that home and it's in a will, does that change variables? Matter of fact, or is that a simple thing, or is that, because like you hear commercials on TV, for seniors to get a reverse mortgage, to get money back from your own and home. How does do they lose the house when they die when that happens, or does it?
Well, seniors should never get a reverse mortgage to pay bills.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I've seen them get a reverse mortgage, pay off the credit cards, and 5 years later, the credit cards are back up.
Yeah.
So just don't do that. That's a bad idea. So the way the reverse mortgage works is you don't always have to use it.
Okay.
But if a homeowner is used the reverse mortgage, is borrowing the money against the equity in the home, then the homeowner passes. So the lender is going to get that home because it was collateral for the loan.
So even if it's in a will, they're going to lose it as soon as...
the kids can always pay the loan back and get the house.
Gotcha. But you're on the hook for whatever that loan was.
If you want the house, you got to pay off the debt against the house.
And generally speaking, is that just the collateral that was taken on the loan, or is it the value of the property itself?
I'm not sure I understood that.
Like what I mean by that is they took out a reverse mortgage loan on whatever equity. And I guess that really, because usually for seniors, the house is paid off at that time. So it's all equity, I guess. It doesn't, I'm thinking of people that still owed money on it, I guess. That's where I'm going.
Well, the loan is based on your age, how long you're likely to live, and how much equity there is or isn't in the home. So your house may be paid off, or maybe just a mortgage on 50% of the value, something like that.
So probably a good rule of thumb, if you're a good communicating family, is if you need to get a reverse mortgage for your home to take care of your whatever, probably should get your kids in that conversation too, so they understand fully what's going on there. Because, if you got the family saying, well, I'm playing on that as my inheritance here, and you're like, well, sorry, I got a
reverse mortgage.
Yeah, unless you want to buy the house,
right.
It ain't yours. I mean, you might want to have that conversation, or it's going to be really weird at the funeral. You don't tell them about that.
If you're thinking of a reverse mortgage, at least come talk to me, because don't ever use that money to pay unsecured debt. So
I know we're getting off topic here. What would you consider a good reason for getting a reverse mortgage? If it's not to pay off bills.
It would be medicine.
Okay. Something life needed.
A necessity, right.
Okay.
Credit cards aren't a necessity.
Okay.
So if you couldn't afford the prescriptions, something like that.
Or I guess if you just want to screw the world and just charge a bunch of debt and you don't worry about, what I mean? Like if you're like,
one last big vacation.
Yeah, a little Thelma and Louise situation. But you're going to tick off a lot of people doing that probably. But I guess
it's your house. You can do with it as you want.
Yeah.
The kids have absolutely no right to inherit anything.
Okay.
A parent is never legally obligated to leave their stuff to the children. No.
So let me ask you this. So I would guess say you have someone that's older now and they need more care and they want to set up their home to be more conducive for them to staying there. Would that be a good reason to do a reverse mortgage, or that'd
be a good reason if they make it handicap accessible?
Exactly. They want to do upgrading beds and hallways and things to make it easier for someone to do that. That would be a valid reason.
Or if there's the gas lines are really old, they need to be replaced. So that's a life-threatening situation, something like that.
I got you. Of course, the commercials always make it seem like now you can use it to enjoy your life, and go on vacation and that's the way I always see those ads. They kind of set it up that way.
They do, because it's quote free money.
Sure.
And you never have to pay it back. The house pays it back.
Sure.
The house goes to the
You're
lender.
basically cashing in on what you earned in equity there, but if you've got family members that are looking at your what you're leaving them as their retirement plan, then you might want to talk to them first.
So parents usually don't tell their children, this is the retirement account and Edward D. Jones or Fidelity. They don't tell their kids where they bank, who they have the insurance with. And in the event of a fire, the kids have absolutely nowhere to start. They can't even look at the checkbook because it just got burned up.
Right.
They can't go on the home computer to see what bills are being paid because it just melted.
So really, that's why we talk about the safety deposit box scenario, because that one, now you have a trail, and it is protected by fire, and it's not going to be on a hard drive that could get lost, damaged, stolen, whatever. That's what you know what? do both. Keep it in the safety deposit, but if you've got a hard drive with all this information, keep it there too. There's nothing wrong with backups.
Yeah, it's fun to keep it digitally, but it should not be the only method.
But ultimately, your probably truest, safest thing is, like Matt said, is get that safety deposit box, keep the policies easily labeled, house, car, whatever, in there, and then that'll give your relatives, your next of kin here, the ability to kind of take care of all that.
And for financial accounts, it doesn't matter if it was 10 years old when the kids find it. Okay, so they find this bank statement's 10 years old. They go to the bank, and mom and dad have an account here. No, they moved it. Great, where'd they move it to? There's a paper trail. Moving money leaves a paper trail.
This is true.
So wherever that money goes, you have a paper trail to find it. Something we hear a lot is, well, dad passed, and dad left me everything. I'm an only child. So I took the will down to the bank to get the money out, and they won't give me the money. And I say, yep, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's how it works.
They're not going to give you the money. That's not what banks do.
Yeah.
So in that case, a bank would make you go to probate court.
Gotcha.
So it's other
You just
people.
can't walk in and ask for your money. They don't like that.
Nope, not your money.
Yeah.
But there's ways around that. Your bank account can say POD, payable on death, to whoever you want to go to. That's one way in a bank to avoid probate.
Okay.
So your checking savings can be POD, payable on death.
But you, the one with the assets, need to set that up for your kin to help that situation.
account-
Otherwise, they can't do it on their own.
Right. Yeah, the account owner has to do it. And people, for some reason, they look at me and say, well, can you do that for me? I'm like, no, you have to do it at the bank.
Yeah.
It's the bank's account.
That's not a lawyer thing.
That's not a lawyer
you
thing.
Yeah. He's not filing a motion for you. He's just going to the bank and setting up a payable upon death thing.
So I always think that's kind of funny. And the probate court here does have forms. They have a packet of forms. So a lot of times we end up helping people fill those forms out.
Gotcha.
Because attorneys can be expensive. I get that. And if somebody needs help filling out a form, glad to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably running short on time here, but do you have some factor fiction here for us here? For those that don't know, Matt loves he's a master of words, and he loves to get origins of words, and we always have some good information whenever we do these. So do we have time for one today?
Yeah, short one. Yes.
All right.
Okay. So in Greek, the prefix SYN means with.
Okay.
Like synchronized.
Okay.
With timing.
Gotcha.
And so there's a Greek word synkinesis. And so kinesis is where we get the word kinetic.
Okay.
Like, kinetic motion, kinetic energy.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and you think, well, that's an odd word. I wonder what that really means. But in Latin, it's the same thing. We just pronounce it emotion. Motion.
Gotcha.
So in Greek, it means with motion, with energy, kinetic energy. It's that movie was so moving.
Yeah.
So it's the idea of not just a static feeling. It's a movement.
Interesting. Through energy or of energy.
Yeah. So in Greek or the Latin, it's still the same. It's that idea of there's something moving.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's interesting.
It is cool, which makes it neat because obviously there's many languages based on Latin. And so you're like, okay, well, and that's why sometimes you hear words that are similar in French and in Spanish to English and things, because we're all Latin-based languages, and that's where some of those ties come from.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yep.
If you have any questions about anything we talked about here or any real family legal advice or anything, Matt Bristol and his law office can help you. You can go online to bristollawoffice.com.
Yep.
And you can schedule an appointment right through there or call.
Well, you send questions.
Email
Email questions.
Yeah.
And then we email you back and set up an appointment.
Yeah.
Or call us, 625-5284.
Very good.
And I guess we got to do the area code nowadays.
That's right. Make sure you put the 575 in on the landlines, too, not just the cell phones. So.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Had a great time.
Do you think, does New Mexico have that many numbers that we have to require this? I mean, honestly. I don't think we have the problems that, say, California or Texas do with area codes.
No, it was they're adding a new some kind of emergency number.
Oh, okay.
And so in order not to dial it by accident, then so everybody's using the 10 digits now.
By the way, since we're working on emergency things, can we please fix EAS on radio? It's the same tired thing that we've been doing for 30 years, and it sounds so antiquated and bad. Half the time they call, it's like, we got... Like, what? Sorry, another complaint for another day. Thank you, Matt. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Mike. Take care.
It is 7:54. Let's do a quick a news update and quick commercial break before more news. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. Our top story, don't forget, city administration offices and certain other facilities will be closed this Thursday, November 11th, to observe Veterans Day. Some city services in Roswell will have an adjusted schedule for Thursday. In addition to city offices, the Roswell Public Library and Roswell Museum and Art Center will be closed on Veterans Day. The Roswell Adult Center will be closed, as it is closed every Thursday already. Members of the Roswell Police Department SWAT team competed recently in the month of October for the Texas Tactical Police Officers Association competition in Conroe, Texas. Participating in the October 7th through 10th event were 33 teams from Texas, Florida, Louisiana, and Wisconsin, along with Roswell being the only department from New Mexico and the second smallest department competing in the contest. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Well, a lot of stuff happening over the weekend, but there's nowhere else to start. But with the tragic passing of Mickey Reeves, on staff at Gateway Christian as an assistant football coach. Hey, Gateway Christian won the six-man state championship, walloping Rama 70-28 on Saturday. It was at halftime where Coach Reeves collapsed, and then he apparently died of a heart attack later. He was only 51 years old. Mickey Reeves, one of the few guys you can call a legend in high school athletics, legendary baseball, basketball, football player, led the Coyotes to 3 straight state championship appearances. His last game was the 1988 victory over Clovis in the championship, drafted by the Cubs. Wow, a tragic event for Roswell. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. A Mississippi hospital looking to hire more nurses amid a nationwide nursing shortage is now offering to help pay off student loans of new hires. Memorial Hospital in Gulfport, Mississippi is offering to repay loans up to $20,000 for inpatient nurses and registered nurses who work in long-term care facilities and signed a 2-year contract. Ukraine has filed charges of espionage and attempted state overthrow against 5 people who allegedly were part of a hackers group controlled by Russia. The Security Service of Ukraine said Friday that the hackers group, known as Armageddon, was responsible. On Wall Street, the Dow up 203 points to 36,327. The Nasdaq gained 31 to 15,971, and the S&P 500 up 17 points to 4,697. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Welcome to the Asian market. This is Nok. Right now we have a new ingredient like galanga, lemongrass, lime leaf, and Thai chili to make tom yam goong and tom kha gai. And try out new delicious nail soup on Saturday. Come see me at the Asian Market, 5702 South Main. Call for order 840-5309.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
What does paying $10 a month for health insurance sound like? Yeah, kind of like that. Open enrollment is on now, and you may be able to get health insurance for $10 a month. And as New Mexico's health insurance marketplace, BULNM makes finding health insurance and signing up easy and affordable. And our services are free. Call us at 1-833-862-3935 or visit BULNM.com to get the assistance you need and to get insured. Because you just never know.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM. KEND Roswell.
Showdown with the United States. New satellite images reveal that China has built mock-ups of a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier and a destroyer in its northwestern desert. The independent U.S. Naval Institute says the mock-up's part of a new target range. China has been investing heavily in its military in recent years, including its Navy. A stringent COVID vaccine mandate now on the books in L.A.
Anyone going to a shopping mall, theater, gym, or nail salon in Los Angeles now must verify that they are vaccinated. The mandate is among the strictest in the country. It requires proof of shots for everyone entering a variety of businesses. Mayor Eric Garcetti, a Democrat who tested positive for the virus last week, says the rules will encourage people to get vaccinated and make businesses safer for employees and customers. The rules won't be enforced until November 29th. Fines of up to $5,000 could be imposed. I'm Julie Walker.
It appears multiple crises, ranging from the border to inflation to Afghanistan, are taking a toll on President Biden's standing among Americans. As a new USA Today Suffolk University poll of registered voters puts President's approval rating at just 38%. That's a record low for this particular poll. His disapproval rating stands at 59%. Former President Trump calling out Republicans in the House and the Senate who supported the president's $1 trillion-plus infrastructure bill. 13 Republican yes votes helped the bill to clear the House, winning final congressional approval. Mr. Trump says the bill is a waste of a lot of money, with just 11% of the funds actually going to real infrastructure. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 141 points, and NASDAQ ahead 24 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Nick. And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box so that family memories would be safe and could always be enjoyed together.
And this year, we're offering you early access to our incredible Black Friday sale so you can finally digitize your home movies and photos.
1 million families and counting have trusted Legacy Box to convert their aging media because Legacy Box is safe, simple, and affordable.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your videotapes, film reels, and photos aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. And with the holidays approaching, don't wait. Simply fill your Legacy Box, and we'll take care of the rest.
This is the first time we've offered Black Friday savings this early, and it's the most meaningful thing you can do this holiday season.
It's time to relive your most important memories and take advantage of Legacy Box's best sale of the year.
Visit legacybox.com/lbox to get early access to our Black Friday sale. That's legacybox.com/lbox for an irresistible deal. legacybox.com/lbox.
A government minister from the tiny Pacific island nation of Tuvalu makes a somewhat unorthodox video, hoping to make a point at the International Climate Summit in Scotland.
In the video, Simon Coffey, the Minister of Justice, is standing at a lectern in a suit and tie. The flags of the UN and Tuvalu are fluttering behind him. But he's not in a conference room. He's standing in the sea in Tuvalu with his trousers rolled up. He filmed the speech to be shown in Glasgow on Tuesday to highlight how global warming causes sea levels to rise, threatening his country's existence. Tuvalu is made up of a series of low-lying islands and atolls, where the highest point is just 4.6 metres above sea level.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega is ahead by a wide margin in his bid for a fourth consecutive term, although the election is widely considered to have been rigged. News and analysis at townhall.com. The economy was supposed to have helped President Biden and the Democrats, but lately it's been hurting them with the voters.
President Biden praises the U.S. economy for performing better than the rest of the world, claiming it's because of his policies. Yet Americans have turned pessimistic about the economy as inflation has persisted under his watch. On Tuesday, voters in Virginia rewarded Republican Glenn Youngkin with a win in the governor's election, in part based on a belief that he would be better for economic growth. Ken Lorman reporting.
Israel's apparently found a new way to keep an eye on Palestinians it suspects of terrorism ties. Security researchers claim spyware from Israel-based NSO Group has been detected on the cell phones of half dozen Palestinians described as human rights activists. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. The travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Oh, that would be the Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Those words don't work together.
They don't. I apologize. Also, I just learned about some other sad news that our community was mourning this morning. Mickey Reeves, one of New Mexico's most prolific and talented high school athletes of the past half century. Multi-sport athlete, of course, coach, athletic director, and everything over at Gateway Christian, passed away at the age of 52 Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? Wow.
Unfortunately, yeah, he collapsed inside the Gateway Christian locker room at halftime at the six-man championship state game Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so sad.
That's
so
incredibly sad. At halftime?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't really give medical what happened. Just see he collapsed. I don't know if it's COVID or some other underlying condition. Don't know. But we thoughts and prayers go out to his family and obviously the community and everyone at Gateway Christian there and the sports teams and all those folks. I'm sure they're grieving this morning. So our hearts, prayers, thoughts, everything go out to all of you guys.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. That's
sorry to hear that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But that was. I can't imagine that. How do you go play a football game when that happened?
Right.
They went on to win and they took care of business. But imagine that's
gotta sit with you the whole time.
It's probably the roughest second half of football for many of those kids and
Well,
everything.
they did put out a statement on their Facebook page. Basically, just says today is a very sad day for the high school football Gateway football program as they lost one of their dear friend and assistant coach Mickey Reeves.
Yeah,
I was a long part of the football coaching staff for a very, very long time. I will be dearly missed by all who love him, along with his wife Lisa, his parents and brothers, and his children. My family and I followed Mickey Reeves' high school career and was an outstanding running back for Roswell Coyotes 87-88 under head coach Jim Bradley. They won back-to-back state championship titles and was an asset to his football team. And he was fun to watch playing football, especially during the time Las Cruces made them travel on Thanksgiving Day. But Roswell Coyotes and Mickey Reeves prevailed with the win and went on to beat Clovis in 1988 for the championship in Clovis. Please give the Reeves family the privacy needed while mourning the loss of their dear loved one and respect their privacy.
Yeah, he was in the Chicago Cubs farm system in baseball. football as well. He played safety in football. Matter of fact, I was reading farther in the article here. Let me. Basically, he had some eligibility, and then there at Arizona State, Sun Devils, and then where's the part where he went and played football? And the rumor, this is Mickey was a safety there in was it Atlanta or San Fran? I think it was San Fran. Yeah, 49ers.
Okay.
And Dion was their cornerback at the time, and there was rumors that Dion was going to get traded to the Cowboys. And if Dion would have stayed with the Niners, Mickey would have stayed on as a safety. But because they traded Dion, they needed another corner, and he was on the bubble. So Mickey got cut so they could bring a second cornerback in. He played safety. So if Dion would have stayed in San Fran, Mickey probably would have kept his roster spot on the 49ers.
Oh, man.
That was in the article there, too. But, very sad loss for our community this weekend, and our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone.
And just that it happened,
his family and Great Gateway Christian, everybody else.
I'm not speculating in any way, shape, or form, but just that it happened so suddenly. I mean,
I don't know. I don't want to even guess it was a COVID thing, or maybe he had a heart condition or something. He was probably pretty athletic. Played. He was an athletic director, played a bunch of sports, and pro athlete in 2 sports. I mean, it's pretty. But life happens. Yeah. It's the one lesson that all of us need to learn in life is tomorrow's not guaranteed.
That's right.
No matter what.
There's only one thing in this world that is guaranteed, and that's that you will not be here one day.
So, live like, when you deal with people and you deal with things, live like you're not going to see them again. Sometimes you got to think about that. But anyway, we're going to shift gears and chipper back up here, but condolences out to them. We got some good news for you. We're going to have the folks from the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge join us here in just a few minutes. They're opening back up. They get festivals in the works again. The store will be opening and back up, and opportunities for folks to come out and enjoy Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge again here are happening. So Donald Weld's going to join us here, and with Friends of Bitter Lake, and I believe someone else from Bitter Lake will join us as well here, and we'll talk all about those here in just a little bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your Town Hall Business Report, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. I saw some reviews of the because Friday I was asking about the new Marvel movie, the Eternals, yeah. I read an interesting Facebook not article but post,
right?
Somebody who really loved it, and they were sharing, and then they had quite a dialogue back and forth with people with a person that didn't like it, and I'm still wanting to see it, but it sounds like this movie's a big deal, like in the story world of it.
Well, like I said,
it sounds like it's setting the table for the next.
Exactly, this is going to be like the doorway into the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
My worry is this is Marvel's taking a book out of DC, and this is Batman versus Superman. You know how they kind of almost told us, well, if you want to get to the good movies, you got to deal with Batman versus Superman first. And you're like, huh? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, but also, I mean, the thing is, Batman and Superman were already established. Anybody who is a fan of superhero movies and doesn't know both of their individual backstories, they're not a fan of superhero movies. Or
I know, but the way they pitched it was like, look, there's really good stories to be told here, but we got to set the table with this god-awful movie first. And they basically told us that. This story's weak because we need it to set up the next thing.
Right.
And you're like, so you're basically giving us a bad movie so we can get to the good movie? That seems
but I don't
lazy.
necessarily think it's a bad movie to get to a good. I think it's maybe not the strongest.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you're building it. I always do this, but if you're building a pro wrestling car for a good we'll call it a dynamite show. You want to lead strong, you want to finish strong. That stuff in the middle, it's all building stories. It's all continuing a storyline.
Sure,
but it's maybe not as big of a deal as that opener or that closer.
Yeah.
That having been said, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, those were sort of the opening match, the opening salvo, so to speak.
Sure, but they were entertaining.
Right. The end of those phases was like the grand, like the grand finale or whatever. And arguably, the last Avengers movie was way grander than the first one.
Yeah.
Because the first one while not necessarily bad, was setting up characters who we didn't know.
Yeah.
This is the same thing with this one. It's setting up characters that we don't know their backstory. We don't know who they are. So
I get all that. But we can do that without giving me a whole movie. I got to do that badly.
But I think that you're assuming that it's going to be a flop, or that you're assuming that it's going to be that level of stink.
And to be honest, when Marvel started out, the audience, didn't know it was the universe we're being introduced to. We're like, ooh, an Iron Man movie, a new superhero movie. Cool.
Right.
And we start watching it, and they're like, oh, wait, there's more. We got all this going on around it. We're leading you up to this.
Right.
But each and of itself was an independent movie. Whereas these Eternals, I don't know, and it could be. Batman versus Superman felt like we needed that movie just to get to the Justice League. And I'm like, we really didn't. I could have done Justice League without seeing Batman versus Superman, been completely fine. But I'm just afraid they're doing this to the Eternals. But I still want to see it. I don't know. Go ahead, Tanner. You have.
I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised.
You did see it? Okay.
Yes.
I've heard both people. I've heard both sides of it saying, yeah, it's good. Others saying, no, they tried to.
I thought I wouldn't like it.
Okay.
I think that's the key. Go into it expecting not to enjoy it, and you'll enjoy it more than if you go in expecting it a cinematic masterpiece. Then you might be disappointed.
Like thus far, I've heard really down the middle results. Like usually you get it leans heavy one way or another. This one I've seen equally both sides. Like people say it's delightful, it's great, it's setting up for a great thing. One person stated that they're changing the philosophy, and what I mean by this, they're changing the audience. Like their opinion was that all the MCU stuff was like devoted to 40-year-old men that are into Steven Spielberg and that type of thing, where this movie is geared to people that grew up younger than us, like watching anime and that kind of thing. And so the people that grew up watching anime and stuff are going to like the Eternals more than, say, someone that grew up watching Rambo and what
I
we
would
watch
also argue that the is it Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi that just came out. Yeah, that's also in that same vein, geared towards a younger demographic.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe the bent that they're taking is
maybe it is.
Shang-Chi was pretty mystical,
right? But it's also it's geared in that vein of people who grew up watching Last Airbender.
Well, it's definitely action oriented.
Oh, sure, but it's buried in a lot of lore too. A lot of
Let me ask this: can I follow it as a layperson and not get lost in all the details?
Probably. I don't think it was
because that was the complaint I heard was they're trying to crowbar too much information to you in this. There's so much they're hitting you with that you get overwhelmed.
I'm good at following that though.
Okay.
So I mean, I watched Dune and that's supposed to be confusing, and I followed along with it.
I was never a huge MCU mark. Like I didn't really. I still haven't seen large portions of the MCU movies.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is a good restart for me, like a good place to kind of come in and have a beginning of a story. It's sort of like I fell out of, again, pro wrestling for a long time, but when AEW started, I felt like, well, these are storylines that are completely new. I don't have to know a backstory and find out, so I can jump in at the ground level. Same thing with Eternals. I feel like this is one of those things that I can jump in and be at that level with everybody else, and then kind of build from there.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go see it. I'm just curious with y'all because it was down the middle. Like everything, it was either people loved it or hated it, and it was equal on both sides. Like there wasn't a predominantly larger number of either.
I'll tell you the main appeal to me to me wanting to see this movie. It's stupid, but I just want to see Kumail Nanjiani. I mean, I've followed his transition from a schlubby, nerdy guy on like Silicon Valley to this like ripped, new Kumail Nanjiani. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out.
I have no idea of any of that stuff you just said, so it's not on my radar.
The Indian guy from Silicon Valley.
I didn't really watch Silicon Valley.
Okay, well, he was a comedian, a comedic actor, schlubby, kind of, just normal dad body. Yeah, because for the last 2 years he's been like chiseled by like the best and the brightest in the bodybuilding world.
Okay, so he's kind of like what's his name? Guardians of the Galaxy guy.
Yeah, almost exactly like the same story. Yeah,
where he's kind of doughy, but he had to get cut for the Marvel universe there and the Jurassic Park universe, and now he's a heartthrob. But we knew him as like a doughy guy on The Office, or not Office, Parks and Rec or whatever. Yeah.
You got to get you one that can do both.
Get you a guy that can. Okay, so I'm trying to find a before and an after to kind of give you an example. I'm not finding one. Okay, this is a pretty good one. So. That's the after and the before.
Oh yeah, it's a big
difference.
In
perspective, yeah.
Good on him.
He was quite the schlubby dude before. He wasn't like out of shape by any stretch of the imagination, but just
dad bod, heartthrob.
Normal guy, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Proof that yes, you too can do it if you have tens of thousands of dollars and nothing but time to devote to it.
Look for my transition next week. Go from dad bod to granddad.
Looking forward to it. He's gonna change it up to Mike Autumn too.
That's right.
New season.
Fall's coming, don't you know? 8:19. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm today. We'll be in the low to mid 80s, and with high pressure over New Mexico, it looks like things will stay fair. Should be mostly sunny, maybe a few clouds around the Carlsbad area. Turning cloudy overnight with mid to upper 40s, and then we get a sunny day tomorrow. Slightly cooler with highs staying around 80. Cooler again on Wednesday. Plenty of sun and mid 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 48%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. Warm one today. Expect highs in the mid-80s. 84 officially under partly cloudy skies today. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be cloudy tonight, but gradually becoming partly cloudy later in the evening. Overnight low of 45 with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny. 81 tomorrow, north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 45. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. A little cooler and windier for Wednesday. Expect highs around 78 under sunny skies, but winds will be up out of the northwest 10 to 15 in the morning, picking up 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour by Wednesday afternoon. For your Veterans Day on Thursday, looking at sunny skies, highs near 70, so a little cooler on Veterans Day, and actually a cooler Friday as well. Expect highs of only 61, so low 60s and sunny on Friday. Then we warm back up into the low 70s for the weekend. Sunny and 71 Saturday, sunny and 73 on Sunday. All right, it is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. Before we take a quick break here, fresh inventory alert right now at Richland Chevrolet, Cadillac, and GMC on West 2nd. Just arrived some new inventory, including a 2022 Cadillac XT6. It's in crystal white tri-coat. Also a 2022 Chevrolet 2500 custom double cab. It's got a 6.6 liter gas engine. A 2022 GMC 1500 Denali with a 6.2 liter. And it comes in cayenne red. They got a 2021 GMC 1500 Elevation Edition in satin steel metallic. And then they also have a 2021 GMC 1500 Elevation Edition. It's a double cab in dark sky metallic. Stop by the folks at Richland and talk to them today about your next vehicle. Ride for the brand. Richland, Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC on West 2nd and online at rlchevrolet.com. All right, 8:22. We're going to take a quick 3-minute commercial break, and then the folks from the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge are going to join us on the other side. Don't go away.
The pandemic hurt small businesses all over New Mexico, even yours, and rebuilding your business is really tough. The state of New Mexico designed the Business Recovery Grant Program to help pay your business rent, lease, or mortgage payments. The average award is $50,000 and does not need to be paid back. As a business owner, you are dealing with a whole new set of challenges. Visit nmfinance.com/recovery to apply now so you can free up your cash and focus on your great comeback.
Welcome to the Asian market. This is Nok. Right now we have a new ingredient like galanga, lemongrass, lime leaf, and Thai chili to make tom yam goong and tom kha gai. And try out new delicious new soup on Saturday. Come see me at the Asian Market, 5702 South Main. Call for order 840-5309.
This is another commercial from your friends at Roswell Ford, so you're probably expecting to hear about all the great deals here at the Tailgate Nation. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. First, we want to talk about buying a car from you. Roswell Ford is looking for gently used, late model cars and trucks, and if you have one, we're prepared to pay top dollar for it. even if you're not ready to buy anything from us. Just bring it in and see how much it's worth. You'll probably be surprised. And if you are looking to trade up, Roswell Ford has 27 trucks, 30 SUVs, 22 cars, the largest pre-owned selection in southeastern New Mexico, like a Jeep Cherokee for just $10,900, a Ford Escape for just $11,900, and a Jeep Patriot for only $16,400, a Ford F-150 Super Crew XLT, just $19,900. And Roswell Ford backs each one with a 3-day money-back guarantee, so you won't be second-guessing yourself. Buying or selling, you can't go wrong when you're doing business with the Tailgate Nation. Roswell Ford.
When you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to worry about is how soon you can get in to see your healthcare provider, or even finding a provider if you don't have one. Well, now you can feel better, knowing that the Loveless Healthcare Center in Roswell offers same-day or next-day appointments for when you're not feeling well, or for checkups, annual exams, or any chronic issues that need attention. To schedule an appointment or to find a new healthcare provider, call 625-3222 today.
If you're faced with a decision on your current job and career path, please consider an advertising sales position with Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company. We have a veteran sales staff to work with and learn from. We represent 5 radio stations and an online platform that reaches thousands of listeners and viewers across the Pecos Valley and beyond. We pay a base salary and expense reimbursement, plus a generous commission plan. Within your first year, you could be earning $35,000 to $40,000 with room for growth. You won't be stuck in an office. You'll have lots of time for your family and will never ask your vaccination status. If you're interested, email jobs@pvbcradio.com and ask to speak with Vice President and General Sales Manager Thomas Beard today. Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company is an equal opportunity employer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 95% of people text things they could never say in person. Check your text messages. We just sent you something. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake hat today, Donald Weld with us here this morning. Morning, Don. How you doing today?
Good morning, Mike. Glad to be here.
He's a man of many hats. He wears the American Legion hat just like I do. And, of course, he's a world traveler, and you might see him at the library giving a presentation from time to time. Don's a man of many, with his finger in many pies. But wearing his Bitter Lake hat today. First off, good morning, Don. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Doing good. I know this is not related, but we had a great Veterans Day assembly and celebration on Saturday. American Legion Post 2861 put that together. Of course, Don and I are in Post 61 together here. Mm-hmm. So thanks to everyone that came out. We had a great event on Saturday. So
yes, we did.
Big thank you to everyone there.
My legs still hurt. I did the 5K, and
it's right. Yeah, Don got up early at dark 30 and ran the 5K, and you did it about 40?
About 50 minutes.
50 minutes. Yeah,
I walked it.
That's great. I would still be doing it. I'd be out there. They'd be like, "Where's the show? Mike's still doing the 5K from Saturday." I think he's somewhere by the Wool Bowl. I don't know.
I was very happy with what I did. I've never done a 5K before. I've never done any of that.
So it's first time, huh?
First time.
Did you do any training, or you just said, you know what?
Well, I'm just going to walk it.
Let her rip.
Yep. Let her go.
Awesome. Well, good for you.
So.
And he was part of the ceremony. He didn't have to go and sleep afterwards.
No.
He was hanging out with us, and
I was the driver for Jack,
doing the rest of his work for the day there.
Yeah.
So. Real quick before we get into Bitter Lake, any updates on Alzheimer's as well? Of course, you just had the walk here about 2 weeks ago.
I haven't heard much at all from Paul yet.
But people can still donate if they want.
They can. For this year's fundraising session, it goes clear through December 31st.
So you got to the end of the year.
Then we start the next year.
If you go onto their website, the Alzheimer's, if you just do a quick look for Alzheimer's, Chaves County, Roswell, the website should pop right up.
Right.
And you can make a donate. There's a donate now direct button through there. So if you'd like to help and push them closer to that goal of raising the money they want for this year's session,
it would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. And they're close.
We
it's so close. Like they had the breakthrough this year that they're like, hey,
we finally got out.
There's medicine that's right. They're making progress. Right. Who knows? In our lifetime, Don and I's lifetime, we could be seeing a cure for Alzheimer's.
Maybe yours.
I think that's a reality here. So
Yeah.
we're at the 5-yard line here. Let's put our heads down and punch this thing into the goal.
We're looking for the first white flower.
Yes, that's the. Sorry, I dropped my pen, but that's the symbol, the pinwheels.
Yep.
They have different colors representing the different, basically
So
a family
have
member.
outsiders supporting. Got a family member that you're supporting.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing.
And
And
then
then
we're
white
waiting-
one is the first one who survives.
A winner, survivor of Alzheimer's and dementia.
So we're hoping we can find that very soon.
Yeah, so go please support that. Now we're going to get you outside here. Good news is Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, it's been kind of, even though it's outdoors and everything, but as far as many of the amenities that are part of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge have not been available because of the COVID.
Right.
The COVID pandemic here the last 2 years we've been dealing with. But good news is things are starting to open back up to the public out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah, the nature store out there is going to be open now from Thursday through Saturday.
Okay.
From 9 to 3.
Great.
And I know that in past, every year about this time, people like to go out there and get their Christmas presents at that nature store.
Yeah, because they got great shirts and books and
all kinds of
If you've got a nature lover on your list, odds are pretty good. There's things
you're
in
gonna
there
find
they're gonna
something.
dig. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. So that's coming up. Now you can't get in and see the rest of the displays.
Okay. The museum part of it's not really
it's
available.
still closed off, but you can come in on those days
And visit the gift store.
So,
Awesome.
We have people there who will take care of you.
And that's a great way to support the wildlife refuge there,
Yes.
because that money goes back into conservation.
It
and things
does.
at the refuge there.
That's our as the Friends group. That's our primary income.
That's your resource for raising
That's
money and
right.
helping out.
And we supply money to do so many things. There's a the butterfly trail. We supplied money to revamp that and get it going. We just did a water system last year on that.
Cool.
During COVID, we got out there where we could and put an all new water system in. They're redoing there's a bird blind out on the. Let me think about this. I
got to orient myself here.
Yeah. On the east side, there's a walkway that goes out to a bird blind where you can actually, from there, observe the birds when they land on certain ponds.
The migratory birds when they're coming in for traveling south or traveling north for
Correct.
their migration there.
And that trail, that walkway has been destroyed and gone down because it was wood.
Gotcha.
And got eaten up and everything. We're putting in a whole new metal ramp, so it's going to last a whole lot longer.
Something the termites can't get through.
Right. And the bird blind itself has been remodeled, and it looks great. So,
Awesome. So when you do come out and walk the trails and things, you're going to see some new stuff
new
out
areas
there
to
too.
go look at. They're doing new signage out on the Oxbow Trail, which is the one that's further south.
Okay.
That's about a 3-mile walk, and they're going to have signs.
Oh, cool.
Directing you in the right areas.
Yeah, keep you on
so
the
that you
path
don't get lost. I've gone out there and you get to certain spots and it's like, which way do I go?
You get turned around. And
so now they've got signage for all that.
Back this way.
Yeah. Follow this trail and you'll be fine. So there's a lot going on.
That's great.
The new manager out there is really pushing on getting the whole refuge up to accommodate guests.
Awesome. Well, and it's a beautiful place because
Yes.
it's the best of every world here because it's a wildlife refuge. It's there to preserve the wildlife, to study, to learn from it, to appreciate it, to help it flourish. But at the same time, we want to make it to everybody, make it available to everybody.
We do.
And it's a very interesting dance to preserve the wilderness and the wildlife to a situation that it's most thriving and everything else without making man's impact look as much as it is in it. But at the same time, using man's impact to benefit and to make it better. And that's
right.
what it's about. And that's why, you go out to the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, you can't have the fun and parties and things you have over at Bottomless Lakes because that's not what it's for. It's
That's
a
right.
place for us to come. If you want to come and learn about nature, study nature, be a part of nature, and not disrupt nature, that's what Bitter Lakes is all about. You know,
That's right.
Bottomless Lakes, you want to come out and be in nature and have a cookout and fun and party and meet with your friends and family. That's what it's for. But Bitter Lake's there to kind of connect with nature and see the birds and obviously the dragonflies and all the things that call Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge home, and the migratory birds and that's why the events that we're going to tell you about coming up here, you know, that are back on the schedule here in the fall and winter months. These are events that you want to come out and just see the world and see life a little bit slower and in its natural state.
Yep, that's it. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
And we need more people out there too. We're looking for new members on the board.
Yeah.
We have some members who are reaching their limits. So we'd like to get new people to come out.
Got to get some young blood to get out there.
Young blood.
Strong backs and strong desires to work out there on some of the projects and things.
And volunteering is a great thing too. You can talk to Steve Alvarez, who is the coordinator for volunteering and such. And he's got if you want to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
His phone number is 575 914 3332.
Couple three threes and a 2 for fun.
Yeah, there you go.
I would say because of my background in Boy Scouts and things, one of the things that Scouts need to do to complete their Eagle project is a service project. They have to start it from the planning stages to getting material to executing the project and plan and guide in every step of the way. If you're looking for ideas for projects, I imagine you could talk to Steve out there at Bitter Lakes.
Sure can.
Or Bitter Lake. I did the lakes thing there. So I pluralized
Bitter
it.
Lake.
Bitter
Yeah.
Lake. You go out to Bitter Lake and talk with Steve because there's probably lots of conservation projects, trails, various blinds or various things that probably need to be updated and
worked
with.
on.
And
Yep.
you as a scout can go in there and help raise the cost for the material and labor and everything to get that done. And if you'd like to do that, I'm sure Steve would. And same thing with other youth groups and things. If you've got community service as part of your requirements in your group there, please, the Bitter Lake is a place where they would love to utilize your services.
That's right. And we have had Boy Scouts out there doing projects in the past. A previous manager, his son did a project out there when he was there. So several years ago.
Yeah, and that's what Bitter Lake's about. It's our place to come and connect with nature. It's our home for that. And that's why the volunteers like Don and all the other friends of Bitter Lake and the National Park Service folks and all the other people that's their day job out there.
That's right.
They're committed to doing it. And I know we've had Steve on at least a dozen times, I think, here over the years.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to talk with Steve. If you've never been out there just to come and see what's going on, now's the time. Come out there. There's so many. It's a little bit of everything. You've got nature, you've got wildlife, but there's history. Like, you know, when studying of the native tribes that called this land home and their buffalo hunting and some of that, it's just as much a study of people as it is animals and plant life out there as it is. It's just an educational, fun, beautiful piece of property that folks can come out there and enjoy and call home. And because of the work that's being done by volunteers and by the paid staff and everybody else, that place is going to be around for the next 20 years, for the next generation of people.
That's right.
And hopefully after that. But we got to do our part now so the next generation has it there for them. So.
And part of it was built originally by the Conservation Corps.
Yeah,
back in the 30s.
Yeah, during the Depression era and kind of an offshoot of your New Deal projects and things like that. That matter of fact, there's a great history throughout this part of New Mexico, not just Bitter Lake, but out up in the mountain areas and Fort Stanton.
They did some work over at Bottomless Lakes.
Yeah.
They did that too. So they're been around. And
that's a fun little historical jaunt too.
There's
if
a
you
lot
want to
of
see
stuff
some of the
over there.
markings and things from that era and those projects and things. It's To me, that's the fun part of history, is going and finding some of the lesser known stuff about history. And
Yeah.
it's really cool. But that's what Bitter Lake is, and that's why I think everybody in our community would benefit from it and come out there. And I know most people, they want to go to the lake and get in the canoe or kick back with that and
That's bottomless lakes.
That's all bottomless lakes, and that's why. But Bitter Lake is there so you can come and enjoy
see nature. And it's real.
Obviously, Dragonfly Festival didn't happen the way it normally happens this year, but we've got some stuff coming up that we can do so we can still celebrate dragonflies and still celebrate the cranes and some of the things we do every year, just a slightly different than we've done it in the past.
And we're going to do the cranes and cocoa this year. November 27th. Come out late afternoon, about 3 o'clock or so. Now, the 27th is the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Okay,
that's your weekend
small
stuff.
business Saturday that day. So when you're shopping in the morning, quiet things down with some cocoa and cranes later on.
And you can go out and since the nature store will be open, you can go out and get your Christmas shopping, then hang around and go see the cranes come in.
Yeah.
We'll have cookies and cocoa out on the back deck. And the guy who does usually does the talk for the cranes, Jim Montgomery, he will be there. He will not be giving a talk this year, but he will be available to talk to you and answer questions and tell you about the cranes. And
so he'll be there for information.
Yes.
Or if you just want to sit there and watch the world go by and watch the cranes.
That's a great place to do it.
Yeah, but then you're like, well, gee, I wonder what. He's right there to give you that information.
That's right. And then later on, just before sunset, we'll drive down around the loop and take see if we can find the cranes coming in.
Okay.
They usually come back. They go out and feed during the day.
Okay.
And then they fly back in just about sunset.
So you'll probably a beautiful time to be out there at the evening. The sun's setting. The birds are coming
Be sure
in.
and bring a jacket.
Yeah, it'll be a little chillier. It is November, end of November, right after Christmas season here. So, of course, it is southeast New Mexico, and it might be 80 degrees that day. We don't know.
That's right. You never know. And sometimes it's happened that way, too.
It is. So maybe the cocoa is, just chocolate milk.
You might want it to be chocolate milk. Cool down.
But it really is cool. And if you've never been to an opportunity like this, I'm telling you, it's a lot. It's fun. It's neat. It's nature. So you never know what you're going to get. It's kind of like for folks that if you've ever been to the bat, when the bats go out hunting at night in Carlsbad Caverns there and watch the bats leave, it's hit or miss sometimes. Some nights all the bats come out at once and you're like, whoa, that looks like something you see on TV. And other nights the bats are like, I'm not too hungry. And then one or two will come out and some are like, I'm going to sleep in another hour and then I'll go out hunt, so it's hit or miss, but and this is very much the same way. The cranes out there, they may all come in together. They may be like, you know what, we did another loop, or we did, they're like people. They change their minds sometimes and want to do things. And
they don't always go down to those ponds down on the south end. Sometimes they will go actually up to the true Bitter Lake.
Okay.
The actual Bitter Lake.
The actual lake itself.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, except on special setups,
not really public accessible.
Not public accessible. Yeah. But, that's a membership point. If you join the Friends of Bitter Lake, we're looking to do that as a special deal.
Trip out to the actual Bitter Lake.
Trip out to actual Bitter Lake and into that restricted area.
Gotcha. So is it just because we don't want too many people out there to disturb the ecosystem? Is that why it's pretty restrictive? Okay, got it.
Yeah, and it's very, very delicate in that area. So we try to keep the traveling down in that area.
Okay. Well, is that something that as time goes on here and we start where it gets a little more hardier in there and a little bit more where the ecosystem's a little bit more stout that more people start be able to come in there? Or is it always going to be delicate?
That's not in the foreseeable future, but you're right. It may be eventually.
Okay.
But
I didn't know if it was something like, certain wildlife and plant life, we need to let people be away from it to flourish and strong. And then once it's kind of established in there, then we can kind of come in and
well,
is it
a lot
something
of
like
it's
that or
protected.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to understand what the logic is.
We have these restrictions on a lot of things because we protect them.
Sure.
Because they're just about gone.
Endangered.
So
yeah. And it's tricky because it's kind of some of it's natural selection, and no matter what we do, it's going to go the way of the dodo, part of the pun here. But and then obviously, man's impact is causing that, and we try to do things. But and that's nature, though, and that's what. Right. And we is learning in nature. We talk about green and all that, and we can have those conversations at one point. But we're still learning. We're still learning our impact and our role, and what truly is harming, and what is just saying no. It's always. If everybody's a fan of George Carlin, stand-up comedian George Carlin,
I remember George.
There's
Carlin.
a line that he says that I love because he ain't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about the planet, and he goes, we do all our stuff, and everyone's like, oh, these styrofoam cups are going to cause all this planet and all that stuff. He said, the planet's going to be just fine. The people, I'm paraphrasing, are screwed. He didn't say that word. He said, the planet's going to shake us off like fleas and keep going.
That's right.
And to his point, there is a little of that there. It's like, the planet's going to adapt with us or without us.
Yeah, that's right.
And we just want it to adapt with us. And that's kind of when we talk about ecosystems and things. How do we coexist? How does nature and wildlife and plants that give us life and give us everything we need on this planet, how can we, human beings, coexist with that? And that's why Bitter Lake is here, so we can learn that.
That's what we're there for.
Yeah.
One of the, we have the antelope out here, these little pronghorns. We've got fencing around most of the refuge, and that fencing kind of prevents the pronghorns from getting into the refuge area.
Okay.
Well, our new manager says, and this is an ecology thing anyway. We've been looking at getting this, the wildlife people.
Mm-hmm.
Pronghorns don't jump fences very well.
Okay.
In fact, they don't.
They're not jumpers, huh?
No, they're not
going to be
jumpers.
good on your basketball team.
No. But they will climb underneath things.
Okay.
So what we've done is we've replaced a whole bunch of fencing with a raised fence.
Okay.
So that the pronghorn can get underneath and get into the refuge.
So they can graze or do what they want to do.
And such in there.
And still keeps out other predators you don't necessarily want in there.
Right.
Awesome.
Right.
Perfect.
Also, there's a burrowing owl that's just outside the refuge that we're trying to figure out how to get them to move into the refuge where we can protect them.
So you got to make the property values a little better, so he wants to move over.
Yeah, there you go. So we're trying to get those in too, and some prairie dogs.
Cool.
And so this is part of that back area. This is what we want in that area of these protected items that we can take care of that way.
Yeah. So if you haven't been out to our little oasis in the desert, please come out. What's the date on the crane, Coco and the Cranes? November
27th.
7th. It's that Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Right.
It'll be in the afternoon there, dusk in the early evening there. We'll get more information as we get close to invite folks to come out and sign up for this event. Can they pre-register, or is it just show up and
show up?
Show up and
enjoy it.
All you need to do is bring your warm weather, whatever you feel comfortable sitting outdoors in, and they'll provide everything else.
Cocoa and cookies.
Yeah. Any for Dragonfly stuff, or is there any? I know we're past the window for this year's Dragonfly Festival.
Yeah, long.
But that's going to be full go. As of right now, everything should be full go for next year, and I imagine between now and then, you guys will probably have a program or two on dragonflies, and just to kind of remind folks of things.
We're going to start. We want to get people to start coming in. Talk to Steve again.
Okay.
About putting together a committee to do the Dragonfly for next year.
Gotcha.
So that committee is going to be starting to form probably after the first of the year.
So if there's someone that wants to be on said committee,
please
reach out to Steve Alvarez.
Please. You can either call them or you can call our new president. I'm no longer the president.
You've stepped down?
I spent my 2.5+ years in there. That was... but I'm still on the board. I still do a lot of work and volunteering around there. But our new president is Meredith Hildreth.
Okay.
And you can talk to her about joining the members or finding out more. Being a friend of Bitter Lake. 575-652-7244. 0024.
Very good.
She's probably going to hate me for giving out her phone number like that, but whatever.
Well, Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge has a website and Facebook and all that too. And so if worse comes to worse, shoot a message on one of those and it'll get you
you got it.
And it'll get you to, they'll make sure it gets to the people it needs to get to.
And they can still contact me also. I'm at 575-495-3325. So
Very
if you need more information.
And I can always get a hold of Don if you can't get a hold of Don. And
if you want to
call
Mike
out.
and he can always catch me. if nothing else, he'll grab me at the Legion.
That's right.
meetings.
Say, hey, a guy wants to do some Bitter Lake stuff. Come on. And,
Yeah. So we're still planning the Dragonfly Festival for the first Saturday after Labor Day.
Yeah, that'll be
as usual.
Yeah, right around September.
We're going to do a spring cleanup. There'll be more info on that.
Okay.
April, May type thing. Where we go through, and especially the butterfly trail. We like to go through and clean all the trash out of there and maybe do some planting of new butterfly flowers.
Okay. Get maybe another batch to call it home and settle in.
Well, the one that we plant is where they actually plant the eggs.
Oh, okay.
So we want them to
see. Think about it in the world of infrastructure. We need some more butterfly condos and set up in that area.
Those fences, when they took out the old ones, they were all wooden posts.
Okay.
We stacked up a bunch of those posts, and now we don't know what to do with them. So if you want some old vintage style fence posts, wooden, they're for free.
All right, just come and get them, or reach out to make arrangements to come get them.
Call Jennifer Romero.
Okay.
She is the assistant manager, and you can contact her at, I can't read my writing here, 575-420-4304.
Okay.
I know that's a lot of phone numbers, but...
Well, we'll make sure, like I said, if you have any of that stuff, we'll make sure we get the information if you have any questions or any of that. But looking for more people. If you'd love to get in this stuff, maybe this is a family thing. I would love to see families volunteer.
Oh, yes.
Mom and dad bring the kids and say, hey, we're all going to go work on some projects at Bitter Lake. We're going to go be volunteers and come out and learn more about this. And there's perks for being a member, a friend, and you get to exclusive access to things that you not necessarily get to as just a patron of the refuge there. But so if you'd like it, it's like it's the old membership has its privileges. It's no different here. We'll
get you in there.
Yeah, if you love nature and want to see, maybe you're like saying, I would love to go see I've never actually seen Bitter Lake. Well, I would imagine as a volunteer and things else, I think we can make some arrangements, get you out there and take a look at that kind of stuff. Who knows? It might put you out there working.
That's right. We will. We'll put you to work.
Yeah, that's the great part about it. And families, if you're looking for something to do with your families that are looking for opportunities, things for them to see and do and experience, Bitter Lake is, like I said, the gift store is now open back up. You can come out there and start walking some of the trails and things like that. And can't go to the museum yet, can't participate in certain aspects. But if you want to do a little Christmas shopping, or if you're, and again, this is all helping through the Friends of Bitter Lake, helping when you go buy T-shirts and books and various gifts there, or keepsakes for yourself. That money goes back to building these projects that we've been talking about, and making sure that the butterfly's got a new flower to call move the family in and sit up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
This is what it's all about.
So
come be a part of it.
Yep, that's the whole idea. And remember that all that money that you use to buy at the nature store, all of it goes back. We don't have any paid employees. We're all volunteers.
That's great.
So all of that
they
money
do it for the love of Bitter Lake.
That's right.
Yep. It's
very
labor
much
of
so.
love.
And the back deck is open.
So if you want to sit and
you can go out. There's picnic tables back there where you can sit down and have a little lunch.
Yeah. Or watch the world go by.
Or watch the world go by, and it's a nice view. You can watch the hills on the far side where the buffalo used to be. Well, they didn't slaughter them, but they hunted them.
That was the grounds.
Yeah, in that area. The Native Americans here did not run their buffalo over cliffs.
Right.
They would run them up into a canyon and then take what they needed and drive the rest of them out.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So they that was their tactic, and that was And that's just it. I mean, you talk about buffalo hunting, and you go back and read a history book. You'll learn, the white man kind of came through and started clearing out the numbers.
We're the ones that decimated the.
We basically took the skills that the natives were doing and then kind of adapted it for our own bigger mass purposes. But that's another story for another day. What you're seeing here is the Native American hunting grounds that are all part of this Bitter Lake, and
that's right.
And you get to, and here's the cool part: you never know because there's conservators and archaeologists and stuff that do go through there, and they find all kinds of Native American relics and artifacts and things through that area. And every once in a while, they have those kind of events happening out there. So being a part of the Bitter Lake family and getting involved with that, if you loved and always wanted to get an opportunity to do that kind of stuff, being a volunteer, coming out and helping out, that could be your, because then we say, hey, we got a crew coming in that wants to do some research over here. Can you help them get navigated and situated? And now you get to go be part of these parts that very few people get to be a part of.
You can be a grunt for them and haul stuff around.
Sure. But you're seeing parts of the wildlife refuge that humans generally don't get to spend a lot of time in. It's It's gone to the birds or gone to the.
Yeah, it's not necessarily open to the general public.
Sure.
Now, we do have a Boy Scout camp out there that unfortunately hasn't been in use for the last couple of years.
Okay.
Partly due to COVID. But we're
and I would
ready to
imagine the
have them
Boy
come back
Scouts
out.
go out there because I was in scouting. I grew up in Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I know about that. They probably do their low impact camping when they go out.
They do.
There. It's very they probably train for
pack it in, pack it out, and all of that.
That no open fires, food, water, all of that, bear bags, the whole nine. It's low impact camping, and where basically, and I'll tell you this, Boy Scouts and their mottos and things, you be prepared, you all that. One of their slogans is "Leave a place better than you found it."
That's right.
And so that's a mantra in scouting with camping. So those kids learn that. When we're done camping, this campsite's going to look like we were never here. And
that's right. That's the whole idea.
That's what they do, and they teach it as part of the scouting program, and they get to practice it there at Bitter Lake. So that's great to see.
And we'll see. Yeah,
hopefully get more camping out. That's another. If you want to learn about scouting and doing some of that stuff, and some of the best fun camping I had was when we did low impact hiking up in Philmont and that area in New Mexico.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it?
It's beautiful country.
Yeah,
it's beautiful stuff. And Bitter Lake, though we don't have the mountains they do up north, you do get to see that. You get that feeling of being out up in nowhere like that.
That's right, and it's a different type. It's not mountainous.
Yeah, it's not.
It's desert, but
we're not elevation.
It's a whole different world out on the desert. I love the desert. It's beautiful.
It is,
but you have to look at it for what it is. Mm-hmm. It's not a forested, mountainous type of area.
Sure,
it's a desert area.
It's a different planet in essence.
Yeah.
And the creatures and wildlife that call it home are built different than other areas because they got to survive in that. That's why you look at like our scorpions and other creepy crawlies and you're like, well, it's like they're built to survive in this.
That's right.
In this dirt, this atmosphere.
And they know how
the extreme cold, the extreme hot, all the things that this area is known for. They're built to survive that.
That's right.
But you stick them in a rainforest, they probably wouldn't do that.
They'd die.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that's how we learn. That's how we understand it.
That's right.
And there are so many plants and creatures that call Earth home that you probably never heard of or thought of or saw. A bug, like animals and things. We all kind of look, I can tell that's an animal, but there's things out there that you're probably, what the heck? And you're like, you see some bug that looks like a leaf walking around, and you're like, that's
the way they survive.
Exactly.
Because they fit in with the ecology around them.
It's like the lizards and things that call here, wow, the tail fell off, and now they're built to survive this stuff.
That's right.
And humans, we're built to survive ours, but we've been given different tools, our brain and our thoughts and the way we talk, and using that's how we survive. And
we modify our environment to fit us.
Exactly.
But the rest of the world, they can't do that. They can't modify it, so they learn to fit in with their environment.
God has given us, or however, Big Bang, whatever you believe. But that's kind of how it is, and that's right. We learn about it, and we're learning as a civilization. We're still learning all this stuff. So I got way over talking here. But please look for Bitter Lake. Come on out. Mark the 27th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. That's going to be the Cranes and Cocoa event. Make plans on your calendar to come out to that. And of course, if you want to learn more about anything, you can go to the Bitter Lake's website, Bitter Lake. I think, is it bitterlake.org or something like that?
It's .org, yeah. In fact, ours is friendsofbitterlake.org.
Friendsofbitterlake.org. Or, of course, you can look for Bitter Lake on Facebook, too.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir, as always.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
the visit. And we'll see you next time, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. It is not 8:59. I got real quick. I'm going to play this ad and then news. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley
thank
news
you,
update, I'm Jared.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and are not reliable. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. More bad news for President Biden in a new national poll from USA Today and Suffolk University.
The poll shows a 38% approval rating for the president and just 28% job approval for Vice President Harris. 44% of independents say Mr. Biden has done worse than they expected, and so do 16% of those who voted for him. The USA Today Suffolk University survey also finds that more than a quarter of Democrats don't want Joe Biden to run for re-election. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Fresh concerns about China's intentions after satellite images revealed the Chinese military has built models of a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier and a destroyer in China's northwestern desert. In recent years, Beijing has significantly boosted military spending. That includes stepped-up investments in its Navy. China's Navy and Coast Guard adding new vessels at a record clip with a focus on the disputed South China Sea. Sophisticated military-grade spyware is turned up on the cell phones of a half-dozen Palestinians described as human rights activists. Correspondent Joseph Krause in Jerusalem.
Security researchers say that they have detected the Pegasus software, which is developed by an Israeli company known as the NSO Group, on the phones of 6 Palestinian activists. 3 of those activists work for civil society organizations that Israel just last month branded as terrorist groups. Now, it's unclear who put the software on these phones, but it is the first time that the software has been detected on the phones of Palestinian activists.
And that sophisticated spyware gives those who installed it the ability to eavesdrop on everything on the targeted phone. Watching Wall Street this morning, the rally rolls on. Right now, the Dow is up 127 points. NASDAQ Composite Index ahead 27, and the S&P 6 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
More North Korean saber rattling. This time, the secretive communist enclave claims to have conducted a series of military exercises involving artillery.
This marks the communist state's latest weapons test in recent weeks. The official Korean Central News Agency says an artillery firing competition took place among mechanized units over the weekend. The news agency says Pyongyang held these drills to inspect the mechanized units' progress in mobile combat capabilities. The report also says the North conducted these drills to further intensify competitive training in their military.
Correspondent Andrew Stewart. Former President Obama expressing confidence the Biden administration will ultimately get its $555 billion climate package through Congress. Speaking at the UN Climate Conference in Scotland, he faulted U.S. rivals China and Russia for what he calls a dangerous lack of urgency in cutting their own emissions. News and analysis at townhall.com. A female high school athlete back to competition after a recent verbal assault.
A female high school hockey goalie in Pennsylvania returns to the ice Monday for her first game since she was the target of vulgar and abusive language from spectators. The X-rated chants from students at Armstrong High School targeted the teenager for the Mars Fighting Planets in an October 28th game. Meanwhile, the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League has barred Armstrong students now from attending their school's hockey games, and the team has been placed on probation. Jason Walker reporting.
Tesla shares slumped more than 6% at this morning's opening bell after CEO Elon Musk said he'd sell 10% of his holdings in the electric car maker based on the results of a poll he conducted on Twitter over the weekend. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Don was showing me a cool pen, and I'm a person who gets easily entertained by gadgets. Ain't no lie on that. And this pen, it lights up, and I'm like a 7-year-old, just like ooh. Right. It's got like an LED in it. It flickers. It changes colors.
A lot of people don't know this too. If you turn the pen over, the dragonfly takes its top off.
Ah.
Yeah.
I like them when they're topless. How do you get the pen to work again? Like something you twist. Oh, at the bottom.
There you
go. Oh, there it is.
Nice.
See, the button to make it, like most people, you hit the button to make the pen come out. That just makes the light change. You got to twist it to get the ink. There it is.
There you go.
Sweet.
Functional pen, too. Look at that. Not just a toy.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks.
Look for me on a Friday night just hanging out in the streets.
Just watching the
Riding
pen.
in the dark with this light.
That's right.
We can make an 80s song. Even if he's just riding in the dark.
Probably not a great pen for folks who suffer from epilepsy.
Yeah, it might not be the best there, but it's cool. It's a DAV pen. I think it's red, white, and blue.
I saw blue.
There's blue. There's red.
And
there's kind of white.
Kind of white. A little yellowish, almost greenish. There you go.
Oh yeah, there's some green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just pretty.
Oh, there's some yellow, red. It's just kind of multicolored.
Did you get some of the yellow?
I'll have some of the yellow, and don't be stingy. Don't be stingy.
Don't get cheap on me.
Big thanks to Don for giving me that pen. But yeah, that's really cool. The bit I think we were talking in the break there, and There's so many things that we have that's there that are available nowhere else in the world.
Yeah.
You know, he was telling me about like there's the sinkholes with these like crustaceans and things, and they're in this hole, and they're only in this hole. And they're like, you go to another sinkhole, there's none there or nowhere else on the planet. So it's not only unique to Bitter Lake, but certain holes have certain wildlife and things that exist nowhere else ever.
That's crazy.
Except for in this one sinkhole.
In that one spot in
Bitter
the
Lake.
world.
And not even in the sinkhole 20 feet away.
Right.
It's that one. And that's there. And that's amazing. And it's right here in our backyard.
Great grandpappy crustacean was like, I remember when our family moved to this sinkhole not 48 years ago.
I was the Christy Club.
That's why they call us crustaceans, because I was the crustiest.
But that's just cool, you know, and
Yeah,
it's
it really
right
is.
here in our backyard.
We see more species of dragonflies coming through Bitter Lakes during dragonfly season than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah. So go check it out.
It's awesome. I mean, I say this all the time that we're lucky here in this part of the state that we are just a stone's throw away from so many cool spots. I mean, you got your Bitter Lakes, Bottomless Lakes is awesome. Sitting Bull Falls, I was just reminded that a friend of mine went and took his wife to Sitting Bull Falls for their anniversary. That's like a quick trip away. It's just up to the the hill to the mountains, and you're in splendor. It's amazing.
Same thing with Bitter Lake. It's a whole other world out there, and it's right in our backyard. I'm wondering, one of these sinkholes that go forever?
Oh, right.
How far do we see the light?
Well, if it goes forever, I guess until the pin dies.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's LED. It could go forever.
And it could go for a while.
It's LED. It's a smart bulb. So smart, it could do the radio show.
Yeah, our power's out of the house, but honey, got this pin.
Yep. So, but anyway, what was I talking about?
Bitter Lakes.
Yeah, it's amazing. Go out there, check it out. Good today. Speaking of amazing, we have an amazing hour set up for you for this hour of the show. Nook from Asian Market is going to join us here in just a wee bit, and we'll chit chat with her. Talk about what's new at the Asian Market there. Any new dishes, new items that are there on the market floor. There's always something unique. I don't care what you do. You could go to Asian Market today and then go back like Wednesday or Thursday. It's different stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's the way it is. It's really cool. You know, from and pretty much anything Asian that you can't just get in a store here, you could probably get there at Asian Market.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least she can get you, like, you're like, oh, do you ever get this? She can work on that.
And that's the beauty of it. She listens to the folks that shop with her, and they say, well, I want to try this dish. Well, you're going to need, certain ingredients that we don't carry, but we will.
Yeah.
Case in point with the, I'm going to say this wrong, but the glang, I think it is the ingredient they just recently added that enabled them to make certain different dishes that you couldn't make before.
Yeah.
That's when they just brought it to the table because somebody wanted to try the dish.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll talk with Nook here in just a little bit. We'll get to Skinny, see if she's maybe brought a food or two to try.
I'll tell you, dude, TikTok has made it like it's given me a series of challenges where I see all these like different amazing food creations. And everybody on TikTok's a friggin' expert when it comes to making food, but I want to try all these things. Like I feel like I can make an omelet now better just because I've watched a TikTok video about it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Yeah, she's not listening. My wife is not. She can cook. She cooks fine, and all, but she's not a let's throw this in and see how it works kind of thing.
Right.
She's not that. That's not her
sets to a recipe and goes with it.
and don't divert and do this. And I'm like, nah, that corn will be in there. Throw it in. Well, my wife on Sunday, yesterday, she said, I'll look at that second. It was one of the, can you do something? Like, hold on. So Sunday, we were talking, I was like, hey, she's like, I'm getting hungry. She goes, I bought some hamburger helper the other day. We haven't had hamburger helper in like 4 years. It's been a long time.
Right.
She goes, I got some. You want to do that? I was like, okay, I guess.
Right.
And then she said, I'm going to put a can of corn in it. I was like, but what? Why? You don't do that at all. And she's like, I just want to try it. It tasted fine.
Sure.
A can of corn in there. But I was like, what's going on? Because that was unwife-like.
Right. That's not who you are. That's not the Kim I know.
Usually I'm like, hey, we got this thing. You want to add? I'm going to add some green chili. Is that okay? Are you sure? It's like, trust me. I just do that. I throw things in all the time and don't tell you and realize it turned out good.
There are certain things that it feels like it should be wrong just because you're trained to like make a food a certain way for your whole life or eat it a certain way. I had my perspective change. I think I've even mentioned this before recently. We had spaghetti. It was over at the girlfriend's house.
Yeah.
And she cracks open a can of jalapenos and pours jalapeno juice on the spaghetti and then takes a couple pieces of like slices of jalapenos and puts that with it. That was a game changer, dude. That's the way I'm gonna eat spaghetti from now on. A little bit of jalapeno juice on it. It zinged it up. It's great.
Sweet.
Never would have thought of that though. But just she had that thought in her head, did it, and it worked.
You know what I did with spaghetti? And this ain't a big deal, but I grew up putting Parmesan cheese on my spaghetti. That's kind of the deal. Well, then once I met my wife, she put like cheese.
Cheddar. That was the other thing. She put cheddar cheese on top of it. And I was like, I never thought of that.
I was like, it's good.
Yeah.
Although some days I still prefer the Parmesan roll.
There are certain, you got to imagine that the certain flavors go together like that because they've been experimented on. They've been stand the test of time, so to speak.
Is there any food thing that you do that people look at you like you're some kind of savage?
Lots of food things that I do.
Well, give me one.
Okay, off the top of the dome. Well, that spaghetti thing was a real weird one.
Yeah.
I really, really like fried bologna.
All right.
That's a good example. A lot of people will do like the fried bologna sandwich where they fry the actual sandwich itself. I will fry the slices of bologna before I do the sandwich.
I've always fried the bologna by it.
See, I've talked to people that are like, oh, you don't just make it as a sandwich and then fry the whole sandwich.
Like a grilled cheese?
Yeah, like a grilled cheese.
No, I've
and that's how they said it's the best. I'm never done it that way.
I go and take the bologna and then I put a slice, like 4 little slices on it so it doesn't curl up when you fry it, so it stays flat. So so you in essence cut the bologna so it looks like an iron cross.
Right, yeah, exactly. So it doesn't bubble up in the middle.
Yeah, so it doesn't bubble up, and then you fry it, and then you put it on your bread or whatever you're gonna.
You can lose a little bit less bologna if you just put a small X in the center of the bologna to give it your air and escape hatch.
Very good. Good. Nook, we're talking about bologna.
Yeah. We figured, since we figured you were coming in, we had to kind of wet the palate a little bit.
Yeah, we're talking about bologna. But
that's one. The other one is, and this isn't necessarily too weird, but I make my own chocolate milk in my mouth, where you take the drink of the milk, you take the chocolate syrup, and you mix it together.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's a weird.
It's a little
food
weird.
thing.
That's a little weird.
You ever do it?
I have.
Give it a shot. It works best with Ovaltine.
I've done it before, not with Ovaltine, but I've done it with Quick.
Yeah.
Quick powder. Back when I was a child.
No, I'm talking about like I was in. This is like last week.
Now an adult, I use glasses and do it all in there, or I buy my chocolate milk pre-made.
Pre-made.
Yeah, because that wasn't around when I was a kid. Now you wanted chocolate milk, or if it was, my mom certainly wasn't buying it. So I wanted chocolate milk. It was usually Hershey syrup. She always kept a thing of Hershey syrup.
Yeah.
In the house. So usually that was my chocolate milk making vessel. But no, the one weird thing that I get garbage about to this day, and it's my aunt's fault, is putting ketchup in mac and cheese.
Wow.
Well, when I was a kid, my aunt, who was a teenager at the time, basically turned me on to putting like ketchup into Kraft mac and cheese and mixing it up.
I don't even know you, man.
And it's not bad, but I don't do it all the time, but every once in a while I will do it, and it's not bad. I like it.
I mean, I guess it could sort of work. Okay, as you were saying, I thought of another one. Sloppy Joe's, mustard.
See, I don't really mess with Sloppy Joe's that often because I just think it's a wasted vessel of meat into my. I was like, Sloppy Joe it's chili without beans.
Yeah, it's a loose meat sandwich.
Yeah, it's too loose. I want my meat tighter.
You gotta have your little tighter meat.
I just don't want to eat. It's like something you eat out of a bowl and they put it on bread. I'm just like,
yeah, it's a bread bowl.
It's not my thing.
Fair enough.
I'd rather have ground beef in a much different vessel.
I would much rather have mac and cheese with ketchup. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do that once, and then people look at me like I'm dirty. I don't care. Then you don't eat it. That's the way I look at it.
Everybody's weird here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Weird. But it's just one of those. Now I don't do it every time, but
right.
Every once in a while I'm like, nah, I need some ketchup on this one. And I don't do it to homemade mac. I'm not a savage.
Right.
It's just like Kraft.
But yeah, your blue box.
I would not do that to someone's homemade mac and cheese. That would be a rude thing to do.
No, thank you.
Nook with Asia Market going to join us here in just a few minutes. We'll get an update on new things at the market and at the restaurant here in just a little bit.
Some craveables.
Yeah, and then later on we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, your town hall business update, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do that, though, I do want to tell you about the smart home Wi-Fi with Plateau. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience. You get fiber to home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. And they've got different levels, different programs at different budgets, all super fast to help you out. You could get fast, their fast program internet. It's fast. You get true 100 megs of upload and download speed. It's consistent, 100 megs upload and down. Sometimes with other forms of getting your internet through cable or through DSL or something, other high-speed ways, that's not balanced. That download speed's generally much faster than the upload. They'll say, yeah, we're going to give you 100 megs of download, but your upload's like 4. And not with this fiber. It's consistent, up and down the same. If 100 ain't enough for you, it should be, but if it ain't, you can get faster, which is true 500 megs of upload and download speed. And if that's not enough for you, they got fastest, where you can get 16 gigs of upload and download speed. Expand your home Wi-Fi coverage with Plateau's smart home Wi-Fi. Find the plan that fits your family today. Learn more by logging onto their website, plateaufiber.com. Again, that's plateaufiber.com, Plateau fiber.com. All right, 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, we're going to take actually, let's do weather real quick.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm today. We'll be in the low to mid 80s, and with high pressure over New Mexico, it looks like things will stay fair. Should be mostly sunny, maybe a few clouds around the Carlsbad area. Turning cloudy overnight with mid to upper 40s, and then we get a sunny day tomorrow. Slightly cooler with highs staying around 80. Cooler again on Wednesday. Plenty of sun and mid 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, did I update? Yeah, 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 48%. Winds currently out of the northwest, 7 miles per hour. We're going to be warm today. Partly cloudy, high of 84. So beautiful weather today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be cloudy in the early evening hours, but gradually just becoming partly cloudy as the evening progresses. Overnight low of 45 expected with south winds 5 to 10. For you Tuesday, we're looking at sunny skies and a high of 81 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour, moving southeast later in the day. Tomorrow night, looking at partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 45. Winds out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Then Wednesday, a little cooler, windier. Sunny and 78 for a high, but winds will be up out of the northwest 10 to 20 early. Later in the day, increasing 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Wednesday night, clear skies with an overnight low of 43. For your Veterans Day Thursday, sunny and a high near 70. Friday, cooler, sunny skies, a high of 61. And then the weekend will be in the low 70s. Saturday, 71 and sunny and 73 on Sunday. All right, it is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then Nook from Asia Market's going to join us, talking all about what's happening there at for food in the restaurant, food at the market, all that good stuff. Don't go away.
Have you been dealing with stress or anxiety lately? Don't let that stop you from getting the dental work done that you know needs to happen. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and every day we help people just like you have a relaxing and pain-free experience with IV sedation. Just imagine a dental experience where you don't remember the needles or the drills. If that's what you're looking for, we can help. Let us ease your stress and create the best dental experience ever.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main or call 622-4455.
What does paying 33 cents a day for health insurance sound like? Yeah, kind of like that. Open enrollment is on now, and you may be able to get health insurance for 33 cents a day. And as New Mexico's health insurance marketplace, Be Well NM makes finding health insurance and signing up easy and affordable. And our services are free. Call us at 1-833-862-3935 or visit BeWellNM.com to get the assistance you need and to get insured. Because you just never know.
Ladies and gentlemen, So Easy Sewing finally has our most popular sewing machines and sergers back in stock. We have the Zest, our entry-level machine, on sale for $149. We have the Amazing Jazz 2, which boasts a 12-inch throat, on sale for $799, and our number one selling Verve sewing embroidery combo machine on sale for $999. All machines include lifetime instruction on the use of the machine. Hurry in to 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell to claim your new machine before they're gone. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
This is another commercial from your friends at Roswell Ford, so you're probably expecting to hear about all the great deals here at the Tailgate Nation. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. First, we want to talk about buying a car from you. Roswell Ford is looking for gently used, late model cars and trucks, and if you have one, we're prepared to pay top dollar for it, even if you're not ready to buy anything from us. Just bring it in and see how much it's worth. You'll probably be surprised. And if you are looking to trade up, Roswell Ford has 27 trucks, 30 SUVs, 22 cars, the largest pre-owned selection in southeastern New Mexico, like a Jeep Cherokee for just $10,900, a Ford Escape for just $11,900, and a Jeep Patriot for only $16,400, a Ford F-150 Super Crew XLT, just $19,900. And Roswell Ford backs each one with a 3-day money-back guarantee, so you won't be second-guessing yourself. Buying or selling, you can't go wrong when you're doing business with the Tailgate Nation. Roswell Ford.
If you're faced with a decision on your current job and career path, please consider an advertising sales position with Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company. We have a veteran sales staff to work with and learn from. We represent 5 radio stations and an online platform that reaches thousands of listeners and viewers across the Pecos Valley and beyond. We pay a base salary and expense reimbursement, plus a generous commission plan. Within your first year, you could be earning $35,000 to $40,000 with room for growth. You won't be stuck in an office. You'll have lots of time for your family, and will never ask your vaccination status. If you're interested, email jobs@pvbcradio.com and ask to speak with Vice President and General Sales Manager Thomas Beard today. Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company is an equal opportunity employer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You cannot snore and dream at the same time, unless you're dreaming about snoring. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:25, and joining us in studio this morning, Nook is back from Asia Market. Good morning, Nook.
Good morning, Mike. Here, let me do something.
All right.
It is just like you.
Just like you. It is.
Yeah,
26
it
minutes
is.
after
Yeah.
9 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, we get the. See, people remember.
Yeah.
It's a habit. It's call it a crutch. Call it whatever you will.
What is it called? When you think about Mike, you have to think about it is.
That's right. People, and I say it so often and things sometimes that I don't realize that people just know it for that. And
yes.
So certain times I'll say a clutch or a crutch word, and someone will throw it at me out in public, and it's like good deal.
Just like I just did.
I didn't realize I say good deal a lot till people once said, "Hey, it's good deal guy," and oh yeah, that's me.
Something that people can remember about you.
Yeah. It's good and bad. It is.
Oh, well, it's all good. Let's put on the good way.
There you go. Well, speaking of things to remember by, Asia Market's got a lot of good things
yes,
to remember by. You guys, how's life at the market right now? Y'all keeping busy and getting able to still get stuff and all that, or
we actually busy on a stocking because I got a lot of goodie, guy.
Okay.
Got a lot of good stuff that's gonna be good for Christmas present.
All right, so some good shopping opportunities for folks.
It is.
Okay.
So we got some stuff that when you look at it, you would think about, oh, this is from Japan.
Okay.
We got a tea set, a completely tea set.
Okay.
So cute.
Okay.
Really cute.
A full complete with all the cups in the picture
a
and everything.
sake set. Something like that.
Oh, for sake. Okay.
Yes, we got
All right.
some of that too. And we got some tea set. There's a lot of variety of chopstick.
Now, sake cups are little because you're not supposed to drink a big thing of it at one time or you'll be in trouble.
Oh,
but,
you got a bottle. Actually, it's a container for it.
Okay.
And you got two choices. You want to drink from a cup or you want to drink from a bottle.
So if it's an elegant thing, you drink out a little cup. But if you're looking to get it,
you brave. If you brave.
Straight at the bottle.
Yep.
Got it. Either way, so for the holidays, hopefully you're passing out the cups.
Yeah.
Good deal. So if you're looking for new things,
yes, sir.
And here's the cool part about Asia Market is if you try dishes there, like you go to the restaurant side and have a meal, a lot of times if you're like, well, what's the ingredient that makes it do this? You can go in the market and buy it, and then you can kind of make your own version of that dish you had at Asian Market in your home. And and if you need the equipment, like the pots, like if you need to make sticky rice and or if you need the rolling papers for the rolling mats and everything for sushi and all
right now, we really out of the sushi mat.
Okay, you're out of those.
Yes.
But if you want to get on the list to get some, as soon as you get them in, you'll let them know.
But you got a tricky way for it. You're going to make sushi still. Don't let the sushi mat ruin your day for your sushi. You can do something else with it too.
Well, even bad-looking sushi can still taste good.
Well, exactly.
I've had a lot of mistakes that didn't look good, but taste pretty good. You know?
Yes.
So it looks like a pile of something, but it tastes good.
Yes. So, like you can do something else with it.
Okay.
You can do a lot of things. You can use it. Use on it to make some sushi.
Okay.
Not just the sushi you can make. We got a lot of equipment in there. We got pot and pan now.
Sure.
You good looking for a wok?
Okay,
a big old wok? Yes, we got that one in too. Yeah.
Of course, probably the utensils and things to stir and serve and all that kind of stuff.
Cute spoon, sakura spoon, kind of stuff. A whole set of them. It's
like
right
even
there.
like the chopsticks that you use not for eating but for like working.
For spank, like the one that come in last time. The long one, the wooden one.
Exactly, those. But like sometimes if you're wok cooking, it's better to use that as
Actually, they use that one.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's used to kind of stir and move?
We don't use to it, so we just, hey, this for sure. But for really somebody that used to it, they really use that one to flipping around when they're frying some stuff.
Gotcha. So it's really useful because it keeps their hands away from the hot part.
Yeah.
And as long as you know how to work it, you can keep from burning there pretty good.
Exactly. But for us, we can use that for spank our kid.
Yeah, that's right. Discipline.
Yes. Put the corner.
And that's the cool thing too, because you carry in the market side too, like seafood. There's like so if you're looking for spices and that kind of stuff, they've got you covered. But if you're looking for like seafood and vegetables, they got all that's frozen, comes in fresh frozen.
We do have a lot of fresh seafood, fresh frozen. That's what I mean. On the vegetable part, it's hard still to get it in.
It all came from overseas, so they have to transport it and to store it and to keep it so it's fresh for you. I would say
95% of everything I have in the store, frozen seafood, is come from another country.
Somewhere in Asia, or
another country,
Thailand, or Japan, or China, or something. Yeah,
Vietnam, something like that.
Okay, very good. So that's. So if you're looking for true unique Asian flavors, that's what you're going to find.
Yes, sir.
From products made in Asia to products that are used every day in Asia and things that you can't necessarily get in stores and stuff here, it's available to you at Asian markets. So if you love Asian cuisine, I don't care if it's Thai or Korean or Chinese or Japanese or something else, you've got
it
stuff for that. And you can fusion. Because I imagine a lot of times your dishes aren't true just Thai or Chinese. It's a little bit of both, right?
We kind of a little bit of here and there.
Yeah.
Because I want to go with the word Asian.
Gotcha.
What is that? Not pointed only one country.
Gotcha. Yeah, exactly. So some of it may have more Japanese influences than Thai or Chinese.
A little bit of here and there.
Yeah.
The food there, but the food there you can taste. You want to eat like a Thai flavor, Thai hot. You got it there.
Sure.
I might not cook all over Asia, but the one I cook there, I try to be, in Thai. Mainly it's for to be Thai, but not, what is that called? Particular.
Gotcha.
Thai.
Well, your roots are Thai.
Adapt it. Yeah.
Your roots are Thai, so you learn to cook all this stuff through Thai methods.
Yeah.
So you incorporate that, but you also use some of the same Thai methods to cook Japanese or Chinese or Vietnamese or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. In there. Not particular only one country.
Sure.
Asian is not little.
It's at the end of the day, food is the same rule in any nation. If it tastes good, eat it. It don't matter where it came from. If it tastes good, eat it.
Just eat it.
And that's kind of the world.
Don't say just eat it.
So let's not get into the particulars. It's actually more Thai than Chinese or whatever. Does it taste good? Well, throw it in your mouth.
Yep.
Sometimes we overthink our food. But that's the great. If you wanted to learn more about cooking that kind of stuff, you talk with folks all the time. If you go to the restaurant, have a meal, and you're like, how do you do this? you'll be happy to say, you know, it's, you need this certain instrument or equipment to do it, or because, and we've said this a bunch of times when Nook cooks her food, it's cooked like a family.
Yes.
It's family style. Family. It's not cooked. I mean, it's like this. If she was at home cooking a meal for her family,
let's say just cook from home, cook at home.
Yeah, it's
the way I cook at home.
It's not like cooking for a restaurant. You're cooking for love.
I cook it for myself, actually. No.
So, but what I mean by that is, and that's where every time you have a dish at Asian market, I feel like if I went to Thailand, or I went to China, or I went to Japan, and I sat down in a family's house and had a meal, this is what they're eating. Not if I went to a Chinese restaurant up the street in Roswell, New Mexico. You know what I mean? There's a different flavor and a feel to it. And I feel like the food that you serve and offer is the authentic, like if someone was not talking about where their food comes from, they just having food in Thailand or whatever, this is what they're going to see. You know what I mean? So, and this is another thing I know that you do, and you occasionally when you go back to see family back home, that gives you an opportunity to go check the markets out and see what new kind of things. Do you have any of that in the future here? Any trips back home planned?
I want to go so bad. I want to go see what is changing, but probably everything's the same.
Okay. I didn't know if the Christmas holidays coming, if you're going to plan another trip back to see some family.
Oh, no, we can't. So due to this
COVID and all
thing.
that. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I want to.
So maybe come. But if you remember, if you actually go back and follow her on Facebook, a couple years ago, you were back in
2 years ago,
Thailand.
Yeah.
And you were in like the seafood markets and showing the different techniques of how they cook there and all that. It was really interesting.
Well, next time I'll take you to the meat market.
There you go. Yeah, I love meat.
Yeah. But it's going to be totally different than the meat here. I'm not going to say it now how it's be, but I will show you.
Was it more seafood or is it more?
It's everything.
Okay.
It's everything.
Like, do they use beef or do they use other animals equivalent to beef?
Well, we use beef.
Okay.
Beef from us is, yes, we use cow, we use pig.
I didn't know if like yaks or some of those oxen or something like that.
No, we don't do
some
that.
of those pack animals that I think are in those countries. Those
mostly going to be a beef from us is we use cow.
Okay.
And then we use buffalo. But the buffalo we use is the water buffalo.
Buffalo? Oh, so it's a little different than the buffaloes we see here.
Buffalo, there is no hair.
Of course, the buffalo we have here, they taste very much like beef. They say other than... and actually, they say it's actually better. Like the buffalo that you get here is less cholesterol and less.
Oh, because they're more exercise.
Yeah, than beef. But they say it. And I've had buffalo once or twice, and it tasted like beef to me.
I don't know.
But I had it like roast beef, so it was a little different.
To me, probably not different.
Nah, same.
because I didn't eat it so often until I my tongue is separate the taste.
Gotcha.
This is cow. This is the buffalo,
and
something
see,
like that.
People around here, they ain't messing with no tongue. You know what I mean? Mexican culture, the tongue is used a lot, but here in America,
not
so
I mean,
much.
the tongue to me mean my tongue. My tongue, it doesn't taste different.
I thought you were talking about beef tongue.
No. I mean, my tongue doesn't taste, this is bison.
Yeah.
This is
and I think,
like that.
and I think, to be honest, most people, if you didn't tell them, probably wouldn't know.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you just said,
too.
here's a steak, and they ate the steak, they probably assume it's beef. And it was like,
to me too.
no, that was actually buffalo. And most people probably wouldn't know. I mean, some would, but not everybody. But so come try the dishes. And I'm telling you, this is the move. If you've never been to Asian market yet, plan a lunch or whatever. Go there. Go to the back of the restaurant. You can order your food there. Sit down.
Order. Actually, right now, what I do is you're gonna order food to go.
Okay.
I got the menu sit there by the cashier.
Okay, so you can order
there. Up front. Yeah.
Okay.
Order right there and then shopping around, walking around while you're waiting for your food.
Yeah, so you go and shop and check out the different aisles because you're going to spend at least 10 minutes in each aisle because there's so much in each aisle.
Probably longer.
Well, you can't spend too much time because your food will be ready. But you gotta pace yourself to get through there and see everything. And like I said, if you're looking for drinks, if you're looking for you got a lot of drinks from Asia, juices and teas and things.
We got right now I got so many kind of boba drink. It's got the boba inside of the drink.
The boba teas and all that.
Yes, it got melon flavor, green tea, taro, brown sugar.
So if you like the boba drink, come try some Asian flavored.
Yes, and it's we still carry the Japanese drink, the ramen. You remember that we popped the ball?
Oh yeah.
The marble.
Little, yes. And it set off the carbonation deal.
Yeah.
And
It's been out of the market for a while, and now we bring it all back.
Okay, so you got some there at the market?
Yes,
too?
we got probably about 6-7 flavor.
And I'm telling you, if you're a ramen fan,
we got a bunch.
She's got tons of ramen, different ways, shapes, forms, some spicy, some more fruity, savory, some, it's
some 2-time hot. It's still there.
Whatever you want. I
try to bring in everything the same. Try to keep everything the same. But sometimes, due to a lot of things going on in this world, our beautiful world.
Sure.
So sometimes I'm sorry, I'm short on it.
COVID has probably made it very hard for you to get a lot of things especially from Asia. Because I'm sure there's a lot of scrutiny on any customs and things that are going through there.
It's stuck there somewhere.
So I imagine there's a lot of it that gets through you and a lot of it that never makes it through that you can't get through. Yeah.
It's short on us. That means our distributor is short too.
Sure. So, well, and to be honest, it's so funny. I happened to watch a documentary over the weekend. They were talking about customs and how things come into the country and all that. And, And because of like one of the big problems that I'm sure you have to come across here is when shipments either come on a boat or a plane or whatever. From Asia. I don't care if it's China or anywhere in Asia.
From any country.
Yeah. There is a very meticulous process as it sits in the airports and the docks and things.
Yes, sir.
Where customs has to go through because unfortunately, and here's the thing, a lot of it's just fine to give to people and send into this country. Unfortunately, you have a lot of folks over in that world that try to bring fake and knockoff products and things into the United States. Things that like Gucci and these kind of things. But what it does is that comes from that world, the fake items. And so that hurts everyone's business because when they bring those fake items in, they're not as reputable. People have, but also that money, generally speaking, a lot of times the money from that is going back to fund criminal organizations back in that
it's not
area.
Spread all around.
So they
changing hand.
So they got to be real meticulous for the true Asian products to come in and to be a part of our country versus the knockoff stuff that comes out of there. So what happens, unfortunately, is probably some items that are just fine that were maybe your shipment of fruit or veggies or whatever it is, but it got wrapped up in that mess because of this nefarious stuff that other people do.
Yes, it is. That's really a part of it.
Yeah.
Part of the problem.
Yeah.
And especially this time of the year, these things just happen. A lot of things.
But even like chemicals and powders and things that are legal over there that aren't necessarily legal here, they try to sneak it in sometimes.
It's hard though.
And it is.
It's really hard,
but
to be honest.
It slows down that whole process. And so
yes, it is.
For someone like you that relies on almost every one of your products to be imported in from that part of the world, it slows down the process and things down.
And it spike price up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everything affect everything.
Sure.
It's going in a circle.
Absolutely. It's the trade market. Every supply, demand, every action has a reaction. And it works that way. So come support Asian Market. Come and buy these awesome things that you can only get at Asian Market that aren't available anywhere else in town. Come and try Nook's food. If you've never had lunch or dinner at Asian Market, you're missing out. I will argue that it's the best Asian food I've had in my life.
Thank you for that credit.
I'm a 48-year-old man. I've eaten a lot of food.
You 48?
I'm 48.
Oh, come on. You're still 28.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
I don't feel it. But yeah.
Well,
and it's the best I've ever had.
Yeah. So today and the winter time, the time kind of like it's cool, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have this dish is added on the restaurant. It's going to be every day. It's what's that? Rice soup.
A rice soup.
Yes,
okay.
Sir. That's going to be every day. I'm not in the menu, but you can ask for it.
Okay, that'll be a special request.
Yes, sir. Okay. It's going to be through the winter.
So what's in rice soup other than rice?
What in the rice soup? Okay, you can pick the own meat. And you got some delicious taste.
So you
for
can do like a
me.
chicken or pork or beef or
I
seafood?
would
or-
do pork and a chicken.
Okay.
That's what I'm two men gonna do right now.
Okay. Now with the rice, is it all one kind of rice or is it like a mixture of different rices?
No,
or-
it's gonna be one kind of rice that we use.
Okay.
Still gonna be a jasmine rice.
Okay.
We
I didn't know if
still
you throw a little
stick-
jasmine, a little sticky, or a little
No, you
long
can't.
grain or something.
No, I don't. So we still stick on the jasmine.
Cool.
Mhm.
A
So we
staple in
stick-
Asian culture or
Yeah,
cuisine
we
is
stick
a
the same
jasmine
thing.
rice. Good
Mhm.
deal.
Yeah.
Excellent. So think jasmine rice and probably some veggies and then your protein.
Yeah, it's
and
gonna
then
be a rice and then a sweet. Not sweet. It's gonna sweet from the bone.
Gotcha.
The bone from the broth. And
So
then,
that'll give you, I mean, it'll be more savory, but that'll
Yes,
give you
it
some
will be.
sweetness in there too.
and then we will add some meat in it, like ground pork or some chicken, and then we garnish with ginger,
yeah.
cilantro, sorry, and what is it? The green onion, a little bit.
Oh, a
green
little
onion.
green onion too.
Garlic.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Are you still doing the other Saturday soups with
Yes,
the?
that
Oh,
one's
those are
still-
amazing. If you have that with all the pork and the noodles
Yes.
and the noodle soups there, it's delicious.
Yeah, thank you.
That one and I don't know. I leaned a little towards the more with the less broth. The other,
Okay.
but they're both
the
delicious.
red sauce, the sweet one.
Yeah, I like that a little bit more, but I love them both, and I'll eat one. So if I'm in a mood, I'll lean towards the more.
Well, let's
the
say
sweet.
it depends on the weather. It's some cold day, you
Sure.
go with the broth.
You know, and to be honest, I know it don't feel like it right now, but we're going to be needing some of that here pretty quick.
Yes.
I know it's another high of 84 today, and we're thinking
Yeah.
it's like Thanksgiving's in like 3 weeks. What's going
Yeah,
on
yeah.
here? You know.
Time go by fast.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? And that's an idea too. Of course, Thanksgiving's a couple weeks away. I know a lot of people will do the turkey traditional, but
Yes.
sometimes they do different. But if you're looking to do something different, maybe making a big Asian, a giant Asian feast
Yeah,
for your
that's a
Thanksgiving.
good idea.
Yeah, maybe have a little ramen, a little bit of some soups,
A
and
little
some
seafood,
little
a little
salads
here
and things.
there.
Yeah, I'm thinking that'd be a delightful Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And a lot of the food is handier to eat in front of the TV watching the football game. Egg roll's portable, folks. You can eat the egg roll like this.
Yeah.
You don't need to sit down at the table. You can be right there in front of the TV watching the Cowboys and everything else there. So, of course, and again, come out to the food. Give it the hours for the restaurant and for the market.
Okay, for the market is Monday to Saturday, 10 to 7.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, the market is 12 to 7.
Okay.
Restaurant itself, 11 to 7, Monday to Saturday only.
Very good.
Sunday is closed.
Gotcha.
Unless you really want to come out and help me clean the kitchen, come on in.
All right.
I'm welcome, you
She'll help
guys.
you clean and she might fix you lunch.
Yeah. Hey, I might fry some egg roll for you.
There you go. Hey,
Uh-huh.
you got to eat while you're working, right? That's kind of the thing. But you got to get to work. You got to
Yep.
get a lot of pots
Get
to
back to work.
scrub and some floors to clean and some machines to wipe down and clean up and everything
So,
else.
but really, on Sunday, the restaurant is closed. We got a lot of people come in on Sunday.
So
Want
what-
to eat.
Well, yeah.
But
Well, you can get the ingredients and make it at home. Make it a family thing.
yes, you can. But really, if you go in there, you want to eat on Sunday, I don't cook on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's your day to clean and
Yes,
send
my
to the
cleaning
market.
day. Mhm.
Yep.
Just shopping.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. You'll just have to come Monday morning.
Yes.
And you'll be that much more ready for it because you had to wait another day. So, but come see it. Come shop there. Come. It's on South Main. Like
Yes.
you're heading towards the college. It'll be on the
On the
southbound.
right-hand side.
Yes, it's on the southbound side of,
Yeah.
of North Main there. As you're heading towards the college, you see the big blue sign says
Yes.
Asian Market, steel building there. Of course, they got the beautiful market side and then the restaurant side where you got beautiful seating, plenty of seating there on the side there.
Still brew right there.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you're entering it, you you feel, oh, that's a different world.
It
I
is.
did not know this place existed.
Yeah, it
I
really
got
is.
a lot of people say that.
That's what it is. People don't realize it's there. And then they walk in, it's like, I didn't know this whole place is here.
Yeah.
It's got a big store with aisles full of just stacked to the gills with Asian products. And then you got the restaurant there and delicious food.
Yes.
Come
So
for lunch
let's
today.
say we got everything you need from the Asian.
Yeah. They'll be open in 2 hours for lunch. Come on
Yes.
down here and be a part of it. So good deal. Is there anything we missed, Nook, or did we get it all?
Oh, well, the thing that I want to say is
Yes.
on the Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
I will be closed.
Closed on Thanksgiving that Thursday.
Yes, sir.
All
on
right.
that day, just only that day.
Okay, but you open Friday and the
Yes.
Wednesday before?
Uh-huh.
Normal hours or?
Normal hours.
Okay.
Just only the day that we close is Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving Day will not be open, so you got to get your market stuff either Wednesday or Friday the day after or Saturday. So very good, awesome. So maybe you can have your Thanksgiving dinner Wednesday night at Asian Market.
Yeah,
Come out
that's a good idea.
Maybe like a 4 o'clock. Come out and have a nice meal there.
Yeah,
you know,
want to bring a big cloud or whatever, and bring a lot of people.
Asian Thanksgiving. We'll have a whole big meal. We'll do a big thing with ramen and some soups and some rice and we'll have some fun. But
you're gonna eat at the restaurant, and that day bring your family. Call me so I can set the table ready for you.
Oh yeah, you make it a whole setup. Yeah, and make it nice. I like that. But yeah, come out, visit Asian Market. Come because once you go there once, then you're in. That's all it takes. Once you're in there once,
and you're
like
keep
you're
going.
hooked. Because you're hooked. Dude, what happens is you go in once and you try something or buy something. You're like, that was awesome. I want to do that again. So we just got to get you through the door once. Once you're in the door, the rest will take care of itself.
Yes.
So come on down and visit and see it. Come have a meal. Come do some shopping. And if you're looking for unique, special things, if maybe you grew up on certain Asian cuisine and you're like, I cannot find it anywhere. Come talk to Nook.
Yes.
Maybe if it's not in the store right now, she can get it for you.
I can
and
get
make
it. I will
make
get
it
it
available to you. You know, that's where she's good at finding unique, fine.
Come with your recipe. Come with whatever you need.
Yeah.
Go in there. You can't find it. Ask me.
Sure.
I can help.
If you're looking for tastes of home for you, she can help you maybe locate some of those things.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Maybe something. You can use substitution.
Items that will kind of near it.
You
but,
can find it.
And most times they can get pretty close with it.
Yes.
You know? Not all the time, but once in a while.
Yes, real close, or maybe exactly.
Exactly. Or who knows? Maybe you turn out you like it better with the other stuff down the road. That's
right.
That's a hard pill to swallow because you're like, dang it, it's better, but I don't want to admit it. So I'm just going to stew about it.
I don't want to ruin my mother's recipe, so kind of like that. Huh?
I know
but
that
hey,
move.
you're going to have to take some time, you know?
That's right. You do you.
Yeah.
Well, Nook, appreciate the visit. We
Yes,
we look forward to seeing you again soon. And come on down, folks. Come try. I'm anxious to try the rice soup. I'm ready to try that. If it's as good
start from today.
If it's as good as the noodle soup, then I'm all in 100%.
All right.
So, thank you, Nook. We'll
You're
see you.
welcome.
We'll see you again soon. All right.
All right.
And if I don't see you before Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Enjoy your day off. Your one day off.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Doug. All right, it is 9:50. Let's get you up to date with weather. Your Sean Hannity update. Quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Our top story, don't forget, city administration offices and certain other facilities will be closed this Thursday, November 11th, to observe Veterans Day. Some city services in Roswell will have an adjusted schedule for Thursday. In addition to city offices, the Roswell Public Library and Roswell Museum and Art Center will be closed on Veterans Day. The Roswell Adult Center will be closed, as it is closed every Thursday already. Members of the Roswell Police Department SWAT team competed recently in the month of October for the Texas Tactical Police Officers Association competition in Conroe, Texas. Participating in the October 7th through 10th event were 33 teams from Texas, Florida, Louisiana, and Wisconsin, along with Roswell being the only department from New Mexico and the second smallest department competing in the contest. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
You've got failure Afghanistan, failure at the border, failure with COVID, failure, obviously, with energy, and failure on the economy. Ask yourself, what has Joe Biden done that instills any confidence in anybody? China has no problem saber-rattling every day over Taiwan. Nor does Putin have any problem moving troops closer and closer to Ukraine for what probably is going to be a showdown with them. Now, Republican senators have requested the military aid for Taiwan amid pressure from China. I don't even think Joe Biden cares.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, remember the saying, if you love something, set it free? Now, if it doesn't come back, it was never yours to begin with. Well, when it comes to your identity, our friends at LifeLock, they're kind of calling BS because all those nights working overtime, saving all that money, paying off all that debt, and now some identity thief wants to try and set it free. They say that's crazy talk, and we agree. Now, that's why LifeLock by Norton helps monitor your information. They will alert you to potential identity threats. If you're a victim, you'll get a dedicated U.S.-based specialist that will help fix it for you. No one can prevent all identity theft, monitor every transaction of every single business. But when identity thieves try to take what is yours, don't take it lying down. LifeLock sees the threats you miss on your own. And today you save up to 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com. Use the promo code Hannity to save that 25%. That's LifeLock.com, 1-800-LifeLock.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty warm today. We'll be in the low to mid 80s, and with high pressure over New Mexico, it looks like things will stay fair. Should be mostly sunny, maybe a few clouds around the Carlsbad area. Turning cloudy overnight with mid to upper 40s, and then we get a sunny day tomorrow. Slightly cooler with highs staying around 80. Cooler again on Wednesday. Plenty of sun and mid 70s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Well, a lot of stuff happening over the weekend, but there's nowhere else to start. But with the tragic passing of Mickey Reeves, on staff at Gateway Christian as an assistant football coach. Hey, Gateway Christian won the six-man state championship, walloping Rhema 70-28 on Saturday. It was at halftime where Coach Reeves collapsed, and then he apparently died of a heart attack later. He was only 51 years old. Mickey Reeves, one of the few guys you can call a legend in high school athletics, legendary baseball, basketball, football player, led the Coyotes to 3 straight state championship appearances. His last game was the 1988 victory over Clovis in the championship, drafted by the Cubs. Wow, a tragic event for Roswell. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. The blue chips headed higher at mid-morning on Wall Street. The NASDAQ, the S&P gained ground as well. All 3 benchmarks ended last week at record highs. Japanese tech conglomerate SoftBank Group sank into the red for the third quarter, dragged down by losses in its investments in China. Tesla shares slumped more than 6% at this morning's opening bell after CEO Elon Musk said that he would sell 10% of his holdings in the electric car maker, more than $20 billion worth by most calculations, based on the results of a poll he conducted on Twitter over the weekend. Europol announcing the arrest of 2 suspected hackers accused of ransomware attacks, resulting in 5,000 infections worldwide. The arrest carried out by Romanian authorities, part of a 17-nation operation that included the United States. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial. Every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso, or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants.
Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and are not reliable. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Ketchup was used as a medicine back in the 1930s. Mike uses ketchup to make friends. He doesn't have a lot of friends. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 9:59. Got a minute here, literally a minute before we get kicked off the radio here. If you missed any part of our show, I invite you to check it out at your leisure. You can go back to ksvptv.com. In the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, we had Matt Bristol from Bristol Office join us in the 7 o'clock hour. Had some conversations about financial planning and things like that. Good information there. Donald Weld with Friends of Bitter Lake joined us in the 8 o'clock hour. They're opening back up the gift store there. It's now open, and they've got the museum part, or the part where some of the artifacts are displayed. That's not open, but you can go to the gift shop there and, of course, walk the trails. Their Cranes and Cocoa event is happening that Saturday, I believe it's the 27th. It's that Saturday after Thanksgiving out there, so we talked all about that. And, of course, we just had Nook from Asia Market join us a few minutes ago, chit-chatting about the new rice soup that they got there, and come do some shopping and things for, you know what? Christmas shopping, too. She got some really interesting stuff to make great Christmas gifts there, too. All right, we got to go. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have a wonderful day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow.